Jesus Christ.
Welcome one, welcome all to the Multicultural Misfits podcast. This is your host, Audio AB. At the helm of the table, I have my wonderful executive producer and co-host, Monsieur
Jordan.
Next to him, I have our wonderful guests for the evening. They're far and few between, but we do have guests. Our wonderful guest, Joe. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Where's the applause?
Well, we have an applause button, don't we?
We do have an applause.
Why
Which
don't we
one
use
is-
these buttons more? We
which
need to
one
use
is
these
it?
buttons.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Oh man, you know I'm about to start telling y'all to fucking start programming these things. I'm gonna start manning that shit.
Yeah.
Just watch. It's
Feel
gonna be great.
free.
Random
It's gonna be
buttons.
great. It's gonna be great.
And then next to me,
Omar.
Yeah, we have Omar. He has a little cold, but he's doing pretty well.
I got a whittle cold. Nothing is worse than congestion. I was just telling them earlier. It feels like nonstop boogers, man. It feels like if you were to squeeze my head, that's what would come out. Yeah.
It's just boogers nonstop.
Let's start on a pleasant note.
So basically how we know Joe is Omar and I worked at the same place as Joe for a long time. It was like a health food store.
Yeah.
And, you know, we pulled a lot of shifts together and got into a lot of dumb bullshit. And, yeah, Joe's one of our longtime friends.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I haven't seen these guys in a long fucking... Actually, the last time I saw y'all was for a podcast.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
before we
yeah.
officially started.
Yeah,
It's an
before y'all
unreleased
officially
one.
started.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's
more
good
than
to
a year.
be back again, man.
Yeah, man, it's
Thanks
good.
for
It's
having
good to
me.
have you back.
Yeah. How things have changed, huh?
Oh, my God.
Damn.
That was prior to the pandemic, wasn't it?
No, that was kind of like in the thick of it. That was like in between 2020, towards like August, September.
Yeah.
Oof.
I think it was like November, maybe. Maybe October?
So this
Maybe.
was
That's
during
when
the
we did it?
pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had come over.
Yeah, we had to
during-
sneak out. We had to sneak out of our houses
Oh, yeah.
to come do that.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I have a horrible memory. I really don't remember like time. If you ask me anything about times, I will forget.
What's the longest stretch of memory that you have?
Dude, I don't know. Maybe like yesterday, but even then, like I'm not,
Yesterday till right now.
but like I can't give you like details. You know what I mean?
Dude, I know exactly what you mean. So like my girlfriend got me this it's called like One Line a Day. It's like a book, right?
Yeah.
Where every single day it has like calendar days on there. It's like a line to write down what you did that day.
Yeah.
It's just one line. It's easy. And I fucking did it for 2 weeks and haven't done it since.
Yeah.
It's like, but you know, that thing's kind of cool because like you can look back at that. Let's say if you fill it out, right? If you do stick with it and you're like fucking a good person, in like 10, 20 years, you can look at it and be like, okay, this is what I was thinking. This is what was happening.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. That's kind of cool, in my opinion, to see
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You know what? Actually, someone told me to like, oh, you should get into journaling. Like when you travel, you should like jot things down about like your trip and blah, 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 blah. And I did that whenever I went to India. And then I got back. I think I did it for like a day or two. And then I got back. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, damn, like I forgot that this happened. And then I was like recalling things that had happened like during my trip. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. But I just got really lazy and I just kind of like stopped
It
doing it.
always goes back to that, dude. I never keep up with this shit, even though it's fucking cool. So how was India? You're like probably the only person I know that's ever been to India.
So you're asking me about something that happened like 3 or 4 years
Hey, but
ago.
you said you took a little journal on it, so you're familiar.
How do you not remember what happened on that trip, Joe?
It was crazy, but like I guess the thing that I remember the most is like the traffic and the infrastructure there.
Wow.
It's just so different than here. And it's like, you know, here we have like stoplights and like everything's like organized and, you know, whatever. There it's like disorganized chaos. Like it's organized chaos.
Yeah.
So like everyone's going every different way, but it all kind of works harmoniously and like it all kind of works out. But you think you're gonna die every time you get behind.
They're good drivers.
behind the wheel.
They're really good
Yeah,
drivers. I went
they really are.
to Colombia, to an island, which is pretty small, and then to like the actual capital of Colombia.
Yeah.
And it was the same way. It would be like, there's like 5 lanes on the highway, but really people made like 19 lanes. And they're all just kind of like weaving in
Yeah,
and out
it's
of each
fucking
other.
crazy, right?
And like almost, like more than half of the people are on mopeds. So all these mopeds are driving around all these regular cars. It's nuts. And no one's getting into accident. I didn't see one accident.
Actually,
that
did
entire
see
time.
an accident. I think I saw someone like laid out dead. Like on the,
You saw an Indian accident?
yeah,
Not an Indian accident.
I didn't see the accident happen, but I saw like a dead body.
Oh, my God.
He was going way too fast.
A real dead body, or you
Yeah.
think it was?
No. I mean, they looked like they were motionless, like they
Holy
were
shit.
lifeless.
Have you seen a dead body otherwise? Have any of you guys seen
I've
a dead
seen
body?
people
otherwise?
pass
I've seen a
out.
dead body.
I've seen people have like.
It's not the same passed out as dead.
I mean, it's still kind of scary.
it's dead? Yeah, it's
is a
scary
little scary,
nonetheless.
yeah.
But dead is completely like...
No, I've never seen it like a dead person.
Same.
Have y'all seen?
Yeah,
it?
me neither.
Never.
I
You?
was driving. Yeah, I have. I was with It doesn't matter. But I was driving down. It was back like around high school. I was driving down the street, and there was a car like smashed into a telephone pole.
Yeah.
It was really late at night. No one was around this guy, so I'm assuming we were like the first person to see this guy. It was like maybe like 1 a.m. or some shit.
Yeah.
And his car is like bashing this telephone pole and like smoking. And so we pull over, and I walk over there. And I'm like calling 911 as I'm walking over there because I'm like, I can tell that this is not good.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's going on, but like that car is filled with smoke. So homeboy is in there choking if he's alive. So I go up to the door and I'm looking and he's like this. He's like slumped up on the steering wheel. Like his head is right there. I can't really see the bottom of him. It's like covered in like smoke and the 2 front windows are down and the rest of it is like the smoke pouring in.
Jesus.
And I called him and I'm like, should I like try to pull him out or something? And they're like, no, they're like, leave him alone because if he's smashed or anything, you're basically going to kill him. He's going to bleed out like if you mess with the body.
Yeah.
So they're like, wait till the ambulance gets there. So I'm there for a little bit. They pull up pretty quickly, surprisingly enough. And the ambulances pull up and shit. At this point, we leave. At this point, like several people pulled over and they're all like going to see what happened. So I drop her off. I'm hanging out at her house. And on the way back, I see that they had kind of covered up the area. So I'm pretty sure that guy died. Like you can see the ambulance was like blocking off the road, and you could see they were like moving him into the ambulance. I'm not sure if he was alive or dead, but I'm pretty fucking sure he was dead because when they cover it up like that, that usually means that they're dead.
Yeah.
That
They
sounds
don't want you to see
haunting,
him.
man. I mean, a lot of people go from car crashes. There's like a lot of people. I think it's like one of the second or third leading cause of death in the country. Is car
Bro,
crashes.
cars
Right behind,
cars
heart
are
attacks.
dangerous, bro. Like, if you think really, like, cars kill most people in the world.
Bro, I was just talking to that about someone. Have you ever seen like a video like on the internet or
I think
something?
What?
you might have turned your
What?
mic
What?
on.
I'm an idiot.
Unprofessional.
I'm so sorry. But have you ever seen a video on the internet of like a person, like a pedestrian, just getting hit by a car?
No.
Yes,
Like
I
just
have.
getting swept by. I'm not talking about like they get run over. When you get hit by a car, it just kind of sweeps you off your legs and knocks you up.
Yeah.
Dude, those things, they don't stop. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like a car, you don't really think about it because we're all driving it, but those things are fucking death machines.
I've seen videos of people who try to do insurance fraud. They want someone to pay for their shit, so they pretend to jump on the car.
And some they have a dash cam.
Yeah, and then they roll off.
Oh no, but that
You
shit
hit
looks
me.
incredibly painful. Getting hit by a car. Fuck
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Fuck that.
Dude, I remember at my old apartment complex, I used to go for like walks around the complex, and I'd go to like the outer area, and it'd be like a big square around like this neighborhood, and there's like this intersection with like 4 stop signs, and I was walking across the street, and like I'm walking, none of the other cars are going, I'm walking perfectly fine, and this lady is looking towards the left, so she's not looking at me, and her daughter is in the passenger seat. Her daughter sees me, and the lady moves forward, and she fucking taps my knee. Like not like lightly taps, but like legit like taps, and like I move like a few feet.
A
And
few
then
feet?
Yeah, and then I fucking slam my hands in the car. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then she's like, ah. Yeah, the lady's like, she puts her hands up, and then like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like I put my hands in the air. I'm like, what the fuck, lady? And I just walk away, and then she drives away. But now that I think about it, I should
fucked up.
have got that lady's information. I
Yeah.
should have
Yeah.
been like, ah,
You should have been on the
knee.
floor clutching that knee like you've never felt pain like that in your life.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking when you were talking about like, have you ever seen someone get hit like on video or something? I was thinking about like how fucked up the internet was back in the day. Like when I was in elementary school, I saw 2 Girls, 1 Cup,
Oh, yeah.
and like all those other like
Oh, yeah.
messed up videos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how was I allowed to see that? I was
Yeah.
like 10 years old seeing those videos. Like I saw a video of this guy, and he like put like a glass cup up his butt.
One man, one jar.
Is that what it's
That's
called?
a
Yeah.
tough one.
And then
Oh
it
my
broke
God.
inside of his
Yeah.
whatever, and he was like pulling the glass out of his.
Not making a sound
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
Doing it in complete
Yeah.
silence like
Yeah.
a fucking creep, dude.
Do you guys think that kind of shit has like affected the kind of adults that we are?
Oh, yeah.
Like affected our mind state and shit?
Best score and shit like that, dude. That shit affected us.
Bro, the other
that
day,
website's
I was on Twitter, and I watched a video of a man getting shot, and then I just kept scrolling.
God.
Wait,
And I was like, damn, what is wrong with me? Like,
wait,
why?
was he being robbed?
No, he was on somebody's like front porch or something like that. And he was trying to, like a guy was trying to get him off or something, and he just wouldn't leave. And the guy had an AR, and he just shot him like one time.
Oh my god.
And you see his body just fold and like hit the ground.
And you were just like, keep
Yep.
scrolling.
and then right under there was like Mega Stallion, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Retweet.
Like
keep
back
scrolling.
in the day, I
Yeah.
think those kind of videos held a little more weight because we would watch them like as jokes or like spread them around as jokes, which is not cool. I just couldn't get into that sort of stuff. But like now, I think like we're definitely desensitized.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like
That's what it
on
is.
Twitter, bro, like you see some crazy videos. I saw a video of a dude jumping off a telephone pole or like some sort of like electrical little tower thing, really big, somewhere in like Africa. Jumps off, smacks the ground,
Oh my
and just
God.
bounces, and that was it. And that was the end of the video. It was a little 7-second video.
Oh my god.
And I forgot what the meme was that they were making out of this, but they turned this poor guy into a joke. He jumps clean onto fucking regular like dirt ground, and that was it. He's just dead. I was like,
people made
why am I
memes
seeing
about
this on Twitter at like 11 a.m.? This is not what I should be
Do
seeing.
y'all remember that video of like the cat falling like in a building? Like it like jumped off like a
Yeah, it lived.
It lived, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. Like it was
like
pretty high up.
It was like more than 10 stories.
Yeah, and I just remember like going into the comments and like seeing like people joking about like screenshots, and I was like, whoa. I was like, this is weird. Like
People are bad. People, they're bad people in the world, man. Most people are bad. Like sometimes, like when I see a video like that, I'm like, I don't know why I do this so often, especially on Twitter, but I'm like, I have to see what the comments say.
I do that a lot.
I know that like some of these are Russian bots and shit, but like I want to see. You can usually see right through the Russian bots. I want to
Yeah. see
see what regular people are saying about this sort of thing, and like it's never pleasant.
Never.
You'll be
The top ones are
disappointed.
never pleasant. They're never
Never.
compassionate at all. It's always like. He's not waking up tomorrow. I'm like,
Yeah,
bro,
I don't
what is
think-
happening?
I don't think people really care until it hits close to home.
Of
For
course.
sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
That was like your uncle or something.
I think that's the case and with a lot of things. Like until it hits you personally, you're detached from it extremely.
That's how I was feeling when I like saw the whole Travis Scott situation.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I was about to say that. Like when I
Yeah.
saw those videos, I was like, wow, like
I think it was the ninth victim, and it was a female, and she was maybe was she Indian? I don't remember her name.
She was like a Texas A&M student.
Yeah, she was a Texas
Yeah, I
A&M
think she was
student.
Indian or Pakistani.
Yeah, and I saw like her mom and like her parents do that press conference, and it broke my heart.
Yeah.
And then I went and I looked at the comments, and people were like, "Oh, like it wasn't Travis's fault," and like, "Oh, they're doing this for money," and I'm like.
Bro,
Someone literally
yeah,
lost their daughter.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
y'all are talking about the wrong thing right now.
These parents are
Absolutely.
heartbroken. You're over
Yeah.
here trying to defend a celebrity who could not give a single shit about you or anyone in your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy how these people support him in that way. Like,
Oh,
listen,
yeah.
in a logical way, if you want to say, hey, maybe it wasn't completely Travis' fault and have
Yeah.
like some sort of real basis, but to just be like, he's an artist, bro. It's not his fault. Like, I love Travis. It's
And
like,
then to say-
what's the matter with you, dude?
bro, and then to say that they're doing this for money, bro, like that's crazy. Like I don't know the exact result or like how you should react when you lose a daughter that way, but like anything you do after that, I'm like, bro, I understand.
yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
you're fucked up. Like you thought your daughter was going to go to a concert and have fun, and she's dead.
That's
Yeah,
awful.
They bought the
That's
tickets
crazy.
thinking they were just gonna have a good time, like with
Exactly.
friends and just see this show and be entertained. But like little they know they were gonna be fucking like crushed to death.
Yeah.
But and like we talked about this briefly, Joe. Like me and the guys, we were saying that like at least in my opinion, it really proves like that people have a huge like disregard for other people.
Oh yeah.
Like, could you like if you see someone on the ground, like you and me, like if we're at a place, I see like someone on the ground. Would you pick that person up?
I would try to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a case of that, and also the crowd being out of control, right? So
Yeah.
like sometimes you can't even reach people. But like,
Yeah.
I think there were probably some people who definitely could have, but they were just too into the shit. They were like, "Oh, that guy will be fine."
Yeah, I think that's a lot of what it was.
Or you're
And the-
probably so freaked out yourself that you don't know like how you're going to survive.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I guess,
fair
man.
enough.
But the thought of like, for sure, hundreds of people were stepping on other
Oh, yeah.
people. For sure, those people went home were like, I remember like stepping on people. That's crazy, bro. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people had to have had that thought and just been like, oh, they'll be okay. I'm trying to get up there. Or like, he just came on. Like, yeah, they'll be fine. But it's like, it's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah,
That's fucking
if I knew
crazy.
if I knew I trampled somebody, that would eat me alive. Every
Yeah,
single
bro.
day.
Absolutely.
Especially after you see the aftermath and all that shit.
yeah, my conscience would kill me, man. Like, let's say hypothetically, if I killed someone, right? That shit would eat away at me, man. Like, I don't think I could live like a normal life after that. Depending on the person who I killed, too.
Let's say
You
someone
know?
breaks in.
It depends, bro.
What?
It depends who I killed and why.
I'm not going to lie. It would fuck me up to even know that I recorded that and like I stood by while that happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that would fuck me up too.
Wait, hold on. So, in what instance would you be okay with?
Killing somebody.
somebody.
Let me ask you this: someone breaks into your house and you shoot him.
Oh,
Do you feel
body
that?
him.
I don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit at all.
I'll sleep to find the
Let's
next
say he
day.
ends up being like an 18-year-old kid. He stole like his parents' gun.
Oh,
And
I'm not
he-
gonna kill him.
But no, well, let's say you didn't know that until he was already dead.
Let's say if I accidentally killed him,
well, you didn't accidentally kill him. He was breaking into your house,
I wouldn't shoot for the fucking heart.
Yes, you would.
What?
bro. If someone's breaking into my house, I'm killing
You're
them.
shooting to kill.
Yeah,
You
because
shooting
what
to
if they
kill,
have
bro.
a
I
gun?
would try to shoot like. That's fair enough.
What if they
And
have a
you're not
gun?
gonna-
Now I'm getting in a shootout in my own house.
No.
I own this place.
Let's rewind.
Okay, let's rewind.
Back to my question.
Okay.
What would warrant you being okay with like just absolutely killing somebody, like
All right,
having
if-
no remorse?
If they were entering my house and they had like a weapon,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And if
Okay.
it is, especially if it's a gun,
Okay.
dead.
Dead.
dead. If they let's say I find out, like, if I have a kid and I find out this person abused my kid,
Oh yeah.
I'd be really hard for me to want to be like, okay, let's just let the cops handle it. Like, I'd be really like angry. You know, I'd want to kill the person.
Okay.
I think any parent would. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
You'd be surprised that the law does not work that way.
Yeah, the law's not efficient
And I was about
at
to
all.
say,
Not at
remember
all.
that video of the guy shooting one of the guys like in the court, like he shot.
Oh my God, yeah. He
and
pulls
my
out
dumb
that
ass
shit.
started laughing about that because it started playing in my head.
Yeah.
And the guy,
that guy
and the
deserved
guy,
it.
and the guy in the background was like, "Don't do it, Johnny."
Yeah, and then no, he didn't. That guy deserved it though. I think that guy had like
What did
raped
he
and
do?
killed his daughter or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah.
and
He deserved it.
The guy, he's like pretend at a payphone, and they walk by with the dude in handcuffs into court.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out a gun from this Manila folder and just shoots him real quick.
He shot that
Just
boy
shoots
like
him and
Reagan.
then puts the thing down and like puts his hands up. They're like, no, Johnny, why'd you do it? I'm assuming they had been working with him for quite some time, like
Johnny,
for the
why'd you
case,
do
you know.
Yeah.
And now they got to prosecute the poor guy.
But yeah, Joe, those are the instances of which I would commit murder.
What about you, Joe?
That's acceptable.
When are you comfortably killing someone?
When are you comfortable?
I mean,
getting
I feel like, yeah, in any self-defense situation, I'd probably, like, kill somebody.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, like, go out of my way to, like, do something like that. You know what I mean? But, yeah, like, defending my family, defending myself, nothing crazy, you know?
Yeah.
It's gotta be a lot, man. Like
Absolutely.
even killing someone in that situation where you know you're protecting your family, it must be pretty crazy to think like, damn, like me as a person, I just ended someone else's life. Like that's it. Their life is done. It doesn't
Or,
matter
like-
if they're doing some bad shit. Like their life is over now.
Yeah.
And I did that.
Yeah. For
That's
me,
insane.
I'm always interested in, like, serial killers because these people, they get, like, excitement out of killing people.
Yeah.
Like it's like a thrill for them,
like
and they
a
don't
high.
have any emotion. They don't have any type of remorse for that. So I'm like, it interests me. I'm like, how can people think that
Become
way?
that
How
way.
can they feel that way?
How can they be
And I-
human?
yeah,
they're completely
exactly.
detached. It's like, you know how people say like we have like a lizard brain. That's like the
Yeah.
like the logical, cold, non-feeling part of our brain.
Yeah.
Those people probably have that part of their brain tuned up, and like emotional intelligence is probably either non-existent or extremely low for those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
They say
they-
a lot of those people are psychopaths.
Absolutely.
They have, like little
Or
to no empathy.
sociopaths.
I would think that
Yeah.
like 90-something% of them. There's no way you cannot be like a sociopath or psychopath and be killing people. Like, how can you be completely normal and like be out there like murdering innocent people?
Yeah, getting a high from doing this sort of thing.
See, I see a lot of times it has to do with people's upbringing, their environment. A lot of them come from abusive households.
Yeah.
Maybe they were sexually abused or, abused in general. But then when you get those people who had like a normal life and they just go and just start killing people for no apparent reason, that's where I'm like, bro, how does that happen? Are people
Strange, man.
born evil? Like,
Yeah, just born fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Born with the wrong chemical balances, and like
Yeah.
they're just off, you know. Like there are people that lack compassion, like mentally they can't form that sort of thing. It's
like
like people with
nature.
Asperger's and things.
Yeah,
like
man.
that.
Nature versus nurture. It's weird. It's interesting how it plays into it. Like I was listening to this podcast, and I think I told you guys about it before. It's from this like former mobster. Like he was really really high up in the mob, and he kind of goes over like his entire life in the mob and like what he did to get in, and like the ceremonies and like the hits that he did, and he gives like details of his life and what it was like living in the mob. And he was saying that like growing up, he came from like a good family. Like his parents weren't like they didn't beat him. They were religious. They were good people. They believed in like charity and doing things for other people. But he said for some reason he just like he started to really like doing bad shit, and he liked like hurting people, and he liked stealing, and like he didn't mind if like someone got hurt or like died. He said he didn't really feel one way about it.
was
That's
that
crazy, man.
Michael Francis?
No, but this guy's similar. His name is Sammy the Bull.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Didn't he snitch?
Yeah, he did.
Ah, get him out of here.
Joe's like,
the
fuck him. He ain't about the life.
Get him out of here. I hate those guys.
He's a rat.
Because now you get to profit off of that shit too.
And now
He
he has a
did.
podcast about it.
Yeah, his fun. But he snitched at the very end, like after he was in the mob for like 50, 60 years.
He
So
still snitched. That's even worse.
that's fair enough.
I wonder how much of that is embellished.
Oh, dude, I'm
A
sure.
little bit.
I'm sure a good percentage of it, but like a lot of the murders he's talking about are actually people who like they have the bodies, like the people are dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like a lot of those stories seem legit. But as far as like what actually happened when they were there, it's hard to say. Only the
wish
people
I-
who were there can
I
tell.
wish I
It's a
could live
funny
a
thought
whole,
too, Joe.
full life unaffected and then snitch at the last second.
Trash.
And then make a nice podcast about it. Man, fuck out of here.
That'd be cool.
Asshole.
Everyone in jail just listen to it. Just, fuck this guy.
Like
Okay,
Jordan,
fucking
Jordan
boy.
Belfort doing that shit, I'm like, bro, come on.
Oh, that dude's a scam artist.
He's
The guy
just a
from Wolf of
scammer.
Wall Street.
I've heard, in real life, he's kind of a scumbag too.
yeah.
Like he is
believe
in
it. I
the,
mean,
come on, the shit.
We saw the movie.
But I was gonna say that's true. Like those crime podcasts, like who's gonna tell them otherwise? This guy's story is the story. No other mafioso is gonna be like, well, actually, this is what you know what I mean. So whatever he says, we gotta believe that.
That's true.
That's funny. What
That's
if
the
he's
thing-
like hyping it all up and he's like, he only
Exactly.
killed like 3 people,
Or or making himself look better as if he didn't do that much shit, but really he did a lot more than like
never
he
did
let on.
nothing to kids or women. Just
I
fucking
never did
murdered a
nothing.
shit ton of them.
Never did nothing. No kids. Fucking murdered all these kids.
Murdered all these damn. Wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was a different guy.
I swear.
Who's gonna tell me otherwise? Yeah, the thought that like America, huh? The thought that like someone could do shit like that and then just like a few years later be like, all right, let's start doing some documentaries about it.
Yeah.
There's so many situations like that and so many people that did awful things and then they serve their time and they get out and like time to make some money.
America
works.
loves those stories though. Like Joe was just saying, serial killers they're really like popular. If you listen, there's like podcasts on them. There's all these documentaries. And you know who especially likes serial killers? Women for some reason. I don't know why, but like they really
do
like
love them.
true crime and like serial killer like podcasts or shows. Like they like that shit, even though it's strange because these guys are mostly targeting women.
It's
It is
random, bro.
strange.
That industry is being propped up by white women that love it.
Women do
It's
love
crazy.
this.
What's more weird is like the attraction to them. Like
That's
there are women that are
so
attracted to these
strange.
people,
Yeah,
like
dude.
sexually attracted to them.
Like
and,
after they've been convicted?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, like Ted
yeah.
Bundy, Richard Ramirez, they all had huge like
Yeah.
women followings. Like after they were convicted and shit.
Even in court, they were trying to defend them, no? Like,
Yes.
women were trying to
Yeah.
defend them in
Yes.
court. But afterwards, were people still all about them? Or was
Yes.
it...
oh yeah,
Yes, women would go visit them and try to fuck them in the prison.
That is
Oh
insane.
my
And
God.
some of them did.
yeah.
Someone
didn't,
did?
Something's
Yeah,
gotta be
they would be
loose.
smashing in prison.
Maryland, what's
How'd
his
you pull
name?
that
Manson.
off?
What's the
know.
guy's name? Manson.
Charles Manson.
Charles
Charles
Manson. Didn't he
Manson.
get married in prison?
I would
Yeah,
not
I
be
think so.
surprised.
Yeah, I
To a
think he got
lady?
married- Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you heard that
telling
guy talk?
Oh, he sounds insane,
Sounds
bro.
crazy. And I came over and I took him by the ears. And like crazy shit like that. You're like, what are you talking about, dude?
And you want to marry that guy?
Yeah,
bro.
like all wide-eyed and shit.
That's insane.
That guy looks like he never showered ever. Not once.
So
believe it.
there's a theory that the government experimented
Yeah.
on him with acid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
Like-
told us
thinking
about
that.
that.
I think
Yeah.
I told you guys about that before, but like in San Francisco, there used to be this lab, and there was this operation that the CIA ran called MK Ultra, and they would dose a lot of Americans who didn't even know they were being dosed with
Yeah.
like high doses, like very very high doses of LSD, to the point where like they would drive you insane, and people would like jump off of their apartment roofs or like they would like shoot themselves in the face because they'd be incredibly tripping. They didn't know they were tripping at all, right?
Yeah.
So like the theory is that this guy Charles Manson, he was, and this is like documented, that he was really good friends with the head of that lab. Like people knew that he was openly friends with that guy, but there was never like documented that he was part of the operation. So the theory is that like he got dosed a lot by that dude, and it like fucked him up, and then he figured out how to dose people. So all the people under his control, and then he got under his control, he would dose them and like convince them to do shit.
Do you know about Charles Manson? Like, what was his earlier life about? Was he always the type of person? That type of person? Or like,
No, I don't think so. He was a hippie.
So he turned into that later in life.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't be surprised. What an interesting idea! If the CIA is the one that was responsible for Charles Manson.
That caused my. Yeah.
They've historically done some very shady shit in the
Oh
country.
yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Speaking of the CIA, did y'all see that story about the whole Malcolm X daughter thing?
Oh yeah.
No, please
She,
elaborate.
I wish I had like read up on it, but like basically this was the headlines. I'm just saying shit. But his daughter got killed in her apartment in Brooklyn, I think, in New York, like a couple days ago. And this was, I think, a day prior or a couple days prior to her like spilling some beans about some CIA agents that were responsible for her dad's death.
Yeah.
Because the gunmen were exonerated like recently.
Yeah.
So I think she was like going against it and be like, no, this is what actually happened. Like the government was responsible, and then she ends up dead in her apartment, which is weird.
It is very strange, but like to my understanding, the Nation of Islam are the ones that had him killed because he branched off. But then again, I don't know.
Nah, everybody in New York knows who did it. Like everybody in L.A. knows who killed Tupac, but everybody in New York know who killed Malcolm X.
You think so? Because
Government?
Yeah.
You think it was the government?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't
The
want him
Nation of Islam
revolting,
wouldn't do
dude.
that.
I believe it.
They
It's-
fucking got
they
Martin Luther King, dude. And he was
Bro.
peaceful. Imagine Malcolm X. Malcolm X was raising some hell.
Nah, bro,
But
they
no,
were
they
was getting
fucking up
army.
MLK though because like in a couple years they're going to have to release all the paperwork that the FBI has on MLK and like how they basically like tracked him his whole life.
You're talking about present day. They're gonna have to release it.
Yeah,
in a couple
because
years.
it's like after a certain amount of time, like the
It has to get
FBI has to release.
unclassified.
Yeah, it has to be unclassified.
That's so
But
interesting.
dude,
and that's gonna be crazy.
We're gonna learn some interesting shit.
So the weird thing about Malcolm X is, okay, so like when they killed him, the beginning of his like I guess you could call it career. He was very radical. He was about like, let's take this shit back from the white man. Like, fuck America.
Yeah.
He was very much about like, let's go to fucking war.
By any means. all that
But
shit.
yeah, by any means necessary. But at a certain point, he left the Nation of Islam and he went to like Africa and he became an actual like Muslim. And like he started following like the Muslim tenets of like, you know, like peace and like not fucking killing people. And when he came back to the US, he was like not about that anymore. Like he was very much like on the peaceful wave and he didn't want crime. He wanted like civil disobedience, not like actual crime, right?
But just like not listening to the rules.
Exactly. So like my theory, I don't know if this is true. Maybe the government had a part in it too. Is that the leader of the Nation of Islam? His name was Elijah Muhammad. He did some fucking shady ass shit. He had like fucking a bunch of like bastard daughters from like all these secretaries and shit, and he'd be fucking underage women. My theory is that he had a beef with Malcolm X, and then he ordered him to be killed because the gunmen have connections to the Nation of Islam.
I don't know. I didn't read up enough on it. I'm not sure. I mean, it could have went either way because I wouldn't be surprised if one or the other. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the government had something to do with it, and I wouldn't be surprised if...
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the government has been known to, like, target communities.
100%.
I know a lot of, like, the big reason why marijuana was illegal was due to, like, racism against Mexican immigrants around the 30s.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of people that lost jobs during the Great Depression in the 30s. And in order to, like, vilify Mexicans, they used to actually call marijuana hemp. And then they started calling it marijuana to make it associated with Mexicans.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
Marijuana.
and they would
Think
Wow.
about it. That's true.
Yeah.
Marijuana.
marijuana. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they would basically. There was actually a movie called Reefer Madness,
Yeah, I heard about that.
and it was like propaganda to kind of demonize marijuana. And I think in the movie they were like, you know, marijuana will make you, you know, have orgies and want to, you know, have sex
great.
with black people, and you know,
Sounds like a
you
great
know?
time.
Sounds like
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah,
I'll give it a try. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's interesting you bring up the point of propaganda, man. I feel like that shit is powerful. Like even if people like can see it and recognize as propaganda, the ideas itself is still powerful because consciously or subconsciously, either way, it's still being presented to your brain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why, like, you know how we talked about social media earlier? You guys were saying like you see people like being killed or whatever, something like that. And sure, you watch it for a second and you scroll past it and you forget about it for the rest of your day.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, you saw that.
Yeah. For
That
real.
was
you think about it.
It's
Yeah,
in
for
your
sure.
brain, and when you go to sleep, it's in there.
Yep.
It's like it's not leaving. It maybe it's in the back of your brain, but it's in your hard drive somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's
Right?
the thing with Twitter is just like propaganda out the fucking ass. Just
Oh my
from
God.
all different biases. So it's just like
And it's like
all
polarizing
propaganda.
polarizing both sides, like turning us against each other. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
it's
Like-
either funny shit or it's some propaganda like political. Like who like it's and it just goes like in so many different ways and so
Yeah.
many I don't know, man. Twitter's
think-
a really angry
I-
place and
I
it
think
really
it's
shows how
because-
divided this country is.
Humans are so like easily programmable. Like
Yeah.
we're so easy to manipulate and to brainwash. And whenever you kind of get out of that and you like look back and you're like, damn, like you see what's going on, but you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like how you
Especially with
said,
social
like,
media.
They were
Yeah.
they were using propaganda to target Mexican immigrants in the Great Depression. Mm-hmm. That is insane. There's a whole Great Depression going on, and you're focusing on these people. Like that's what you're putting your energy towards.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's what
'Cause-
this country is, man.
Yeah, they were known as
Come
like,
up with some big problem to get your attention off of you on
And a
something
war
else.
was coming around the corner, so it's like
But
this
the
is what you want to
Mexicans are
focus on.
smoking. Don't you guys see?
yeah, I mean, they did it again. Like in the 70s, during Nixon's administration, he passed a couple bills to make marijuana a Schedule 1 drug. And, you know, Schedule 1 drugs, I think it was along
It's like
with...
it's
like,
up there with like fucking heroin.
Yeah.
The crazy
Yeah.
shit.
Like an
Yeah.
automatic
bro.
felony, right?
Yeah, and that's because he was trying to basically attack the hippies and the
Yeah.
black people because they were against him.
And they were because they were against the war.
Yeah, and they were against the war. And this motherfucker was doing scandals and shit. He had the Watergate...
The whole
He
Watergate
was
going on.
very sketchy.
Yeah.
He
That
was
guy.
one of the sketchiest presidents.
Those presidents in like the 70s and the 80s, they was some wild boys.
Bro, they did some bad shit. Him and Reagan,
bro,
they-
Reagan, man.
they did or oversaw some really
The war on
really-
drugs as they were selling
Fam.
drugs, like
Dude.
pushing drugs in the
That's
black
the-
community
That's the craziest thing.
to fund a
man.
war
That's just
overseas.
And then people be like, "Yo, Reaganomics, good shit." Yeah. That Reagan guy.
I don't know why people blow the
Great
guy.
guy.
Like he's just a human. He's just a man. Like why do people like worship him?
Because he created a war and then fought the war and he won it by himself. He did all three things at the same time in 8 years. That's amazing. That's wild.
Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, he's a crazy guy, and his wife.
Fuck Ronald Reagan.
Fuck Ronald Reagan.
I agree. He started the war on drugs, and we're still fighting this shit for no reason.
And
Yeah,
his bitch-ass
I
wife.
honestly think that has a lot to do with police brutality.
Oh yeah, it
Well,
feeds
yeah.
it feeds into that. It feeds into like private prisons, right? It feeds into like a lot of bills that were passed in the '90s that basically made like sentences longer for people who were like selling crack or shit or like weed. It made the sentences much longer. But like as you find, if you look through like data and shit, the people who are mostly selling crack and weed are going to be people of color.
Oh, of course.
Right? So they're going to be in prison longer, and it feeds the private prison system. So it's like it all like connects.
It's a fucked up system, yeah, because they're disposed to that sort of thing, so that they're just unlikely, sadly, they're the sort of people that like end up in the drug game and shit like that, not like wealthier white people or something like that. So those are people that end up getting held down their whole lives.
Yeah.
And for generations and generations, until you're just like so used to it that you're like, this is life.
Yeah.
So like, this is just what it is. But that's not life.
It doesn't have
That's
to be.
not life. Yeah.
You created the system.
Yeah.
So why are you surprised that I have to do all these things to exploit it?
And they wonder why people talk about race all the time.
Yeah.
This is why.
This is why.
Also,
This is
like
why.
with the internet and like the whole police brutality movement going on, bro, there's no denying those videos are not right. Like the cop is not right. There's no way the cop is right.
Yeah.
They're just doing all this evil shit on camera, and I'm like, how is this not like a government, like a federal issue?
Yeah.
Like we all just put our foot down, like, hey, well, you're seeing these videos too. We're gonna set in some like new training or something like that. But they're all like, they all fight it in court, like to the death of them, like tooth and nail. I'm like, this is awful. How is your community ever gonna trust your people? And like, the cop pulls up and now everyone's angry at him, and you're surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they are, because no one likes you guys.
So let me ask you guys a somewhat related question. So what do you guys think about the whole thing with that like Kyle Rittenhouse kid? So for like those who don't know, Kyle Rittenhouse was this like 17-year-old white kid who pulled up to the Black Lives Matter rally.
He's a fucking kid.
He pulled up with, I think it was an AR.
From another state.
From another
AR-15
state.
from another state.
From another state.
And his mom drove him.
His mom drove him, and then he got down at the rally, and he started to like interact with some people, and there was like some, I don't know, it's called shenanigans or some shit, and he ended up shooting two of them. I think he killed one.
He killed one.
So this is what
he
I
killed
heard.
one. He really injured the other.
I think so. The basis that the right was going with, which is most people that are supporting him, the right was going with, was that the guy who he shot initially, the first dude, was apparently he had just got out of jail, and he wasn't really like in his right state of mind, and he might have not been a good person. I think he was in there for a convicted like assault charge or sexual assault charge or something. Yeah. He wasn't a good guy. But don't act like this kid is like a martyr for doing that, because he didn't do that with that purpose. He just shot a person.
He didn't know who that was.
He didn't know who that was. So this person apparently rushed him, I guess, because I mean he's at this rally against people just like that, and he's over here with a fucking AR.
Yeah.
So I'm sure people weren't happy about it, and they were probably harassing him or like yelling like, you need to go away. And I guess someone rushed him, so he shoots the dude, and then other people see that he just killed this guy. So they're like, what the fuck? So they try to go disarm him, and then they run over to him, and then they get shot too, and they just basically start hitting him. It's a back and forth thing. I think like 2 people died and like 2 other people got shot.
Yeah.
Why is anyone attacking a person that has a fucking assault rifle?
That's low key what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But don't be pulling up with that shit, man.
But
Like he knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh,
yeah,
for
of
sure.
course.
Also, a 17-year-old should not have an automatic rifle in their hands.
Of course.
Think back when you were 17 years old, when you were a junior in high school. Think
my
back.
God.
Imagine an AR in your hands,
my
and you just
God.
killed 2 people and shot 2
Why are
others.
you running up to someone trying to? You don't have a weapon on you. Why are you trying to fight someone that has a weapon that can kill you instantly?
Straight stupidity.
That's
Also, I
really
don't think that guy was in I don't think he was in his right state of mind. So he probably did something stupid, and then the other people saw that, and they were trying to be heroes, and they just rushed the guy. Which I feel you, Joe. I would never do.
No,
that.
that's a bad idea.
I'm not about to be a hero. The guy has a fucking automatic rifle in his hands.
I'm going the other way.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm calling the cops. This is not good.
I'm going home. I'm leaving the rally. I'm
The
going
weird
home.
shit about it, like in every video you see him, like he's just standing there with his fucking rifle. He's isolated from like everybody. Like he's just in a crowd of people that like he knows are going to be hostile to him.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, what are you?
The whole rally is against those sort of things.
Yeah, and he's talking about I came there to like protect the cops. No, you came to protect the cops.
That's crazy. You came to protect the cops.
The cops.
The cops?
What the hell are you
This
talking
boy
about?
he's been playing too much Call of Duty, bro.
In what world has a cop been killed in like a fucking protest or something, dude? That never happens.
But with the whole thing, I was because now like I don't even know how to say it, but now I try to like not move with like emotion and shit like that. I try to listen to like what lawyers say about the case.
think logically about it.
So what lawyers were saying about like when he got off and everything, they were like, bro, we're not surprised because one, they were in Indiana. Where were they?
Wisconsin?
They're in Wisconsin.
I think so.
They're like Wisconsin's like a big gun state.
He might have been from Indiana.
Yeah, so everything like gun related, bro, it's not gonna go that way.
Yeah.
And they just kept. He said like a lot of shit, but it was like, bro,
Technically, it was by the law. Like someone gifted it to him.
Okay, so the way I
that
see
was
it-
of age and all that shit.
The way I see it is like legally, he didn't do anything wrong, right? But morally, I think he did some wrong shit.
Yeah.
But legally, I guess he's okay, right?
I mean, he antagonized the whole situation.
Exactly.
He shouldn't have been there in the first place. Why are you doing
100%.
With
that?
how divided this country is, I'm surprised like people are letting shit like this like slide. You know, it's like I don't know, man. There needs to be a bigger fight or something. And then I was seeing like really strange things, like they were picking jurors out of a hat or something like that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm like, what is happening,
That
bro?
was that case was
It wasn't
crazy.
a hat, but it was like a raffle.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a thing.
but what's that all
like the
about?
lottery?
Like at a retirement home.
In what world did they justify
bingo
that?
Number 64. Wait, so have you guys ever got picked for jury duty?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you went?
No. I turned that bitch down.
No. I said I had school.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
I never got back to him. It was like primetime pandemic. I'm not fucking good.
But can you get fined for that?
Dude, they can arrest your
yeah,
ass.
They can put a warrant out. Yeah.
Cops
but,
are gonna pull up.
But
on
I
you.
could always play the stupid card.
Whoa, whoa,
Also,
whoa.
I should probably call and see.
Whoa. You got a warrant out for your arrest?
No. Well, I mean, I'm
not
assuming
going to jury
they alert you, so I don't think I have a warrant.
Oh.
And this
been
was
doing
a
a
very
podcast this
this
whole
was like a
time,
full
right?
year ago or a full year and a half
The
ago. It was
cops
a while
busting
ago.
the door right now. And fucking
There, that
jack,
motherfucker. Come on, come on. We got a jury for you to be on right now.
jack your ass up against the wall.
No, dude, I'm not going to a damn jury, dude. I'm gonna make it up some shit.
I
have to watch my grandma.
I think we should take another shot.
I think that's a great idea.
Another
I love
shot?
that idea.
Yeah,
Joe.
let me go ahead and pour it up.
Must
You
say-
guys continue fraternizing.
Pull it up, pull it up.
I don't even know what we talk about now. Can we just talk about happy things?
Yeah, we got
Fuck
really
you, Kyle
serious.
Talk about
Yeah.
nice things.
Change
Yeah,
the
we got
pace.
really
Change-
serious.
Change the pace to something happy.
Yeah, we started talking about Reagan and Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't know.
That
What
little
we talk about
motherfucker.
Yeah,
now?
we'll leave that to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, let's leave that to Joe
Let me
Rogan.
ask you this: would you guys get? Someone asked me this, right? They asked me this in this way. You remember Jared from Subway?
Yeah.
The evil things he did.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they asked me, would you take $10K a day to look like Jared from Subway for a full month? You
10K a
you
month?
can't hide in your house. You have to go outside. You have to spend at least 50% of your day outside. You have to be walking around. Doesn't matter what.
10K a day?
Hell
10K
yeah, I would
a
do
day
that.
for you to look like Jared. Everyone around you knows you look like Jared.
Yeah, I would do it. I would do
They-
it.
and they
Am I-
recognize you.
Am I going to go back to looking like myself after?
Yeah. How about this? You can do it for as many months as you want. So whenever you're done doing it, you can just stop.
Damn.
But they will know that you're Jared.
I'm trying to touch. I'm trying to touch a million. I'll be infamous.
I'm trying to touch a million. That's a lot of fucking days.
That's 1,000 days, bro. That's like
Hey, I'll,
3 years.
I'll be the villain. I don't care.
Yeah, it's me, Jared from Subway, and I'm making bank too, baby.
Wait, is he in jail like for real?
No, he got out.
Wait, what is
got
this?
up.
What's he saying, Batman?
got
He
up.
says you either either die a hero or live
Or,
long enough
yeah.
to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Harvey,
You know what's
Harvey
crazy?
Dent.
You live long
he
enough to
was-
see yourself become Jared.
He was on How to Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen. That's
Oh
the
my
craziest
gosh.
part about that.
Jared?
Prior
Yeah,
to that?
he was.
For like a, for a promo or what?
Hilarious.
What'd you say?
For like a promo? Why was he on there?
No, he was like on the show. Like he was helping Chris Hansen catch predators.
It was a promo. There you go.
What a piece of shit this
You
guy.
know Chris Hansen got Me Too'd also?
He
Did he
did.
really?
He did?
He did.
Yeah.
What'd he do?
Cheers.
What'd they say he did?
We're drinking some John Dulio. Cheers,
Don
everybody.
Julio.
John Dulio. Put
That
some
right
hairs
there
on
is
your
tequila.
chest.
Doesn't go down smooth.
What did
Wasn't-
Hansen do?
Wasn't bad.
I think he like fucked some underage girl or something like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So he was like,
You have got to be kidding me.
He
bro.
legit. He got Me Too'd. He's
That's
done
so he
whole-
had the pipeline of him, huh?
That's his whole basis.
Yeah,
bro.
he had the pipeline of
He
him,
had
and
the
he
pipeline
piped
of
one of them. I remember I saw an episode of that show, right? This guy, they pull up on him, because he got caught or whatever, and they're talking to him, and they're like, "Prove to us that you weren't going to try to do anything to this girl." And he's like, "I had no intention. I swear, I didn't actually do anything."
Yeah.
They go in his car, they find a dick pill.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh. You know which ones are fucked up, bro? When they find like zip ties and like tape in there.
Oh.
I'm like,
That's
bro.
insanity.
And you know what sucks? They can't actually convict them. All they can do is turn them over to the police and let like the justice system handle them. And we
Yeah.
all know that happens about 20% of the
Okay.
time.
Okay, so let's talk about more happy shit.
Whoa, okay.
All right.
Before we get to that,
Before we
I
get-
just want to say that I feel like less people would commit crimes like that if they were taken care of properly.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, for sure.
Instead of just putting these people in jail, how about we torture them a little bit,
Bro,
Like, how about we
I
like?
agree, Joe.
Yeah, like shouldn't we like stone them or like maybe like
bring back the stoning.
Yeah,
Bring
yeah,
back
yeah.
the stoning.
Look.
Or public shame them.
tar and feather their
Public
ass.
shaming. They have to wear like a big like letter like I did this to this
yeah?
person.
Because wouldn't that deter people from wanting to do things like that?
What
Yeah.
if you let other prisoners beat the shit out of them, right?
Oh, God.
What
I
if
mean,
there
that's
was a
what
room
happens.
of like
That's
the
what
worst
happens.
prisoners, and they know that they get fed people to just beat the shit out of them?
That's what happened with that Dylan Roof kid, the one who killed all those people in the church.
Yeah,
When
they
he got
fucked
to
him
prison, he got raped like really bad.
But
like,
not.
bad.
I'm talking about like legally, they sentence him to whatever they call it.
You got to spend 30
cage.
seconds in this room.
In the cage, and there's like 50 just like convicted felons just ready to scrap the fuck out of you.
Now they'll beat that boy to death.
Yeah, I honest to God, I think we need to bring back the death penalty. Seriously, dude. Like
In
I
some
really
cases,
think
yeah.
more
I'm
people
thinking
do.
I'm thinking more like torture.
I mean, I agree, but
Public torture.
The worst basis that people have against that is money, because they got to pay people to torture them.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it realistically,
I
like
mean, think about all
you got to
the
pay people to torture them.
worthless shit we spend money on anyways. Like,
Yeah.
why
the,
not?
the fucking border wall, the fucking the election audit, all that shit.
I've seen the border wall, bro. That shit's like 9 feet high.
Bro,
I could jump that shit myself with
I
my
saw-
bare hands.
I saw a video recently of the workers. It's the workers video. And they have like a work cam. It's like on their little like vest, and they're like fixing on a part of the wall, like building it. In the camera, you can see someone from Mexico cross, and they jump over the other side into the U.S. And the worker just looks at him, and then he's like, and then just goes back to work.
It's not his
Hilarious.
job, bro.
He's like, it's not my job. I'm not border control.
Yeah.
Border patrol, whatever the fuck they are.
Border control, like it's border control. Calling up border control.
It's like, yeah, why risk your life? I'm not getting paid enough for this.
For
shit.
real.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And I
dude.
think a lot of those border crossings are like cartel run, because it's hard to get across the
be a
border.
dude.
So like they probably got people around.
That's another thing. Make all drugs legal. We won't have that problem.
Dude, 100%. Like, that is a huge stream of income for them. That gets completely obliterated when drugs become legal.
That's tough
And
though,
then
guys. Because
you-
what do you
no,
mean
no.
legal? How so? Like
Regulated.
look,
like
I don't want someone
dispensary.
high off heroin driving
Whoa,
next to me.
Listen, you make it.
Crashing my ass.
You make it pharmaceutical. Doctors prescribe it in like
Exactly.
good amount of doses,
Much lower
and then you
doses.
tax the fuck out of it, and then it
Yes.
helps the economy, it helps the community, and you won't have problems like what's going on.
If you think about it, Omar,
Yeah.
heroin is already legal in the form of all these different pills, right?
Yeah.
Like all these pain pills. People
Opium
already,
and shit. That's basically heroin. No?
Yeah. Some of the pills are actually stronger, bro. And people are more
Whoa.
addicted to pills than fucking like heroin.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to watch Dope Sick.
Oh, I heard about that.
That show is depressing.
Is it real? Like, is it like
It's
actual
based off of
stories
like
or
it's based off of how basically like
withdrawals?
not withdrawals, but like how
is it
like
based off of Oxy?
it's based off of Oxy and how basically like I don't even know how to describe it. The FDA kind of rewrote the laws of like what drugs a doctor can prescribe
To make it easier
yeah,
for
to make
Oxy
it-
to be prescribed for people.
Yeah.
Basically, it was advantageous for them, for the company that made Oxy, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, a shit ton of Americans got addicted to it. And then there was a
Yeah.
huge lawsuit, and they had to pay like $550 million out to a bunch of families.
And that don't
Damn.
mean shit to them.
But that's a
Actually-
fucking penny to them.
I was reading recently. I didn't look too in depth into it, but like somewhere, I believe it was Tennessee, but the court ruled that Walmart, CVS, and another probably Walgreens or something. They were the cause for like an opium crisis that was going on in their state, and
Yeah.
they were found guilty of it.
Yo.
And they had to pay whatever fine they had to pay.
And that's
because
why I
of
ain't
that.
getting a vaccine.
They got opium in it. Damn it!
I ain't getting no booster.
If vaccines had opium in them, you know
Yeah,
how
I'll take
many,
3.
You know how many Republicans would be lining up?
There'd be an over vaccination problem if they had opium.
It'll
vaccine
be
feels
lines,
pretty
It'll be
good.
lines along. It'll
People
be
will be
lines
getting
around
sick.
every Walmart waiting to take a vaccine.
Like, sir, isn't this your third vaccine?
ODing off the vaccine.
Bro, did you know you can just get as many vaccines as you want?
Really?
Can you
Like
really?
on that card, like on that little card, it says like it's like 6 lines for vaccines.
I got 6 of these
Damn.
different bitches up in
that
here.
shit's crazy.
Get 2 of each.
You
Give
can
me-
get all
give me
3 of
2
them if you
please.
want. You get all 3 and like 15
What
booster
if
shots.
like in 20 years all of our kids come out all fucked up because of all the fucking
Bro,
vaccines?
I don't know
we
why
took?
everyone keeps being so scared. That's why, like, when people were talking about the vaccines, I was like, "Are y'all crazy? Y'all know nurses and doctors and shit are getting these, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Shit, some of them ain't.
You'll be fine, guys."
Yeah.
For
Bro,
sure,
some
for
of the
sure. But we
nurses
don't know.
aren't.
Yeah. No, that's true. At the end
but
of the
I'm saying,
day, yeah,
like,
we have no idea.
Long-term effects, we have no. I'm saying that I'm pro-vaccine, but
Yeah.
like, we don't know the long-term
Bro,
effects.
No, it's true. It's true. But like
I mean,
to the people
we
that are
eat-
like, "This is for sure. Like, this is not safe." I'm like, "Are you out of your mind?"
Yeah.
Like medical professionals, companies, they don't want to get sued. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're not gonna fucking put out some product that they think is gonna make people sick, and they're gonna get fucking a giant class action lawsuit in 5 years.
And they make more money with you alive.
Yeah, they want you alive. They want
Yeah.
you. They want you healthy so you can go to work and spend money. That's what they want.
Exactly.
They want your ass getting back to work.
Yeah, but think about all the fucking unhealthy shit we eat: Oreos and ramen noodles and Twinkies, and you put that shit in your body, but you can't get a vaccine. Like, you
So
know.
true. And then they get sick from COVID, and then where do they go to the hospitals? Where everyone is like, "You should have took the vaccine." Like, well, it's like if you would have just taken it, you wouldn't be here right now.
Bro, there was a bunch of like rappers that were like, when the whole shit like broke out, they're like, bro, this COVID shit ain't real. This shit ain't real. And then they would get fucked up and sick and go to the hospital, and they'd be like, yo, That shit real.
It's like Trump, dude.
Dude, that was me at the beginning of COVID. I was like, man, this shit isn't real. I remember going out in December 2019. I went out with some coworkers. We went out to lunch. The one coworker, it was his birthday. He was Chinese. He has family in like Wuhan and like all over different villages in China. And he was telling us at the lunch table, he's like, guys, this shit is serious. Like, it's going to spread here and like it's going to come around. I was like, man, you're crazy. You know what you're talking about. Like, it's much more congested in that area of China. Like, the U.S. is so big. It's not going to spread. Dude, within like 2 or 3 months, that shit completely took over the entire country.
Yep.
Do you guys remember that little like span? Like I know you do because you just said that, but like you guys remember that span where like it was getting worse and worse, and then like when the first case hit the U.S. and I was like, oh shit, and then like it was like, all right, well there's like 10 more today, and I'm like, oh,
I remember when
this
they
is
were
happening now.
when they were building like the hospitals in a day. I remember that moment.
Oh, when they built them like in a week.
Yeah, in Wuhan, I remember that shit.
Yeah,
And
I was like,
oh,
this must be serious.
Okay. I was like, oh, this is real.
Yeah.
So do you guys think this shit started in the lab?
Can we talk
about
about a
this?
monkey?
I don't know enough about it.
Somebody fucked a monkey and it came here.
But I have
That's
heard
AIDS,
situations where like doctors were saying that this looks like something lab made.
They have a lab in Wuhan where they study coronaviruses.
It's a little strange.
It's
But I mean, don't
very
they have a
co-
lab like that in every country? I would assume.
It's very convenient. In that small city,
It's a small
I guess
city.
in terms of China, it's a small city.
Is it? Oh shit.
It's just a few million.
Oh wow.
Just a few million.
China's fucking. They
No
have
big deal.
so many fucking people.
Yeah.
Who knows? You know what the weird is? We'll never know.
I mean, it's possible.
it's definitely possible.
It's possible because they have labs here, and like
Yeah.
I think there's one in Galveston.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so I mean, it's possible.
But if you think about it, like, why would they do that? Because you think they accidentally got their own
I think
people
it was.
first?
I think it was completely on accident. I think like the people who were like working there, they might have been like irresponsible with the way they were handling the virus,
Bro,
and it might have just slipped out on accident.
Imagine if you know, like you did that.
I would keep my mouth
Like you
shut.
started, like
Yeah.
you accidentally made this shit up,
Dude,
You're
I'm gonna-
responsible for millions of deaths and
Did anyone take
destabilizing economies.
Yeah.
and-
Did anyone take Vial 515? It's like, what? I haven't seen that Vial.
I'll
in
tell you right
ages.
now, the Chinese government knows some shit.
Oh,
they
hell
just
yeah.
they probably interviewed every single person who works that lab. They probably tortured them, all that kind of
They
shit.
probably got cameras
probably did,
everywhere. They have
honestly.
cameras everywhere, I'm sure, in those places.
Did you hear like China has like fucking like basically concentration camps for a bunch of Muslims?
I thought we were
Yeah.
talking about happy things.
I know we're supposed
Yeah,
to.
bro, what
We're talking about more upbeat, optimistic. Okay, Joe. So what'd you do during COVID?
Do you
man?
love
What-
kittens and puppies?
I love kittens and puppies.
So did you pick up any hobbies during COVID? What'd you do, man? How you been doing?
Damn, did I pick up any hobbies? Honestly, no, not really. But I am always like, I have a very probing mind, so I'm like always like looking some shit up, and I'm into like, I'm a massage therapist, and I'm in like PTA school, so like I'm always like
Wait, what's PTA?
physical therapist assistant. Yeah, so I'm like always looking up like that kind of like anatomy, like the human body,
Things about
like,
the body?
the system, probably like all that shit that people think is like
Okay, so-
boring.
so let me ask
Mumbo
you-
jump. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
actually believe it. I was going to ask you, what's one of the more fascinating things that you've learned? Like, like this could help with this, or like something as simple as like massaging this area could help with.
Honestly, it's not
Whatever.
more of like a fact. It's more of like a feeling. Because like whenever you work on people, your sense of like touch kind of gets enhanced, and you start feeling things. And you're like, oh wow, like I can sense a difference in this part of the body compared to the other side of the body, and vice. So it's not like a fact about certain things. It's just like a feeling, experience kind of thing.
Do you think their muscles feel like a little more rigid, or like loose, or like what is it about them that?
It's crazy. Like most of the clients that I get are like people that sit at desk all day, or and they have like major shoulder problems. So like 9 times out of 10 people that come in, they're like, oh, I have back, neck problems. So like that's what I'm dealing with all the time. And
Joe
then
pulls
you
out
can-
his dick. He says, "I got you."
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's
I
what you
got
do
you.
with them.
So yeah.
Huh, interesting shit. This guy probably needs.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So like, how since you're like been researching the body, right? Obviously, you have
Yeah.
to learn about it in your studies.
Yeah.
Out of all the like the fitness bros and shit that you see on Instagram and YouTube,
Yeah.
how many of these guys do you think are on some shit?
What do you mean by that?
Like on like some kind of test, or like some kind of steroids, some kind of
roidies.
anabolic steroids.
to be honest with you, I really don't pay attention to that kind of shit. But
Really?
maybe a good amount. I mean, I probably would take that shit, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would probably take some.
it make your job easier.
Yeah.
Now, some of those guys do look way too big.
Some of them, I'm just like, man, are you really natural?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Nah, they're doing a little bit. They're doing a little bit.
They got it.
And there's
Just-
nothing
just a
wrong with
little
it.
dry.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Even people like, I'm sure, like The Rock and shit like that.
oh,
dude,
yeah,
you know they
he's
will do that
Juice
shit.
City.
It's about
Juice
drive.
City.
It's about power. We stay hungry.
Oh my god, bro! Y'all remember that? He came out with that rap song. and it's awful, and it's exactly what you think it would be.
I forgot the Rock had a fucking rap song.
How atrocious,
Dude, you know who else I forgot rapped?
You were Jumanji. Shut up, Dwayne. Fucking
Who do you think wrote
Dwayne.
that shit? You think he wrote that shit?
You know, no, hell no.
Can you imagine The Rock in the studio?
He had been writing that in his notes for years.
Hey, yo, that's a hard bar right there.
You know
We stay
who?
hungry.
You know
Yes,
who
we
else I
do.
forgot fucking rapped? Will Smith.
What?
He didn't write his shit.
How do you forget
Respect
that?
Of course, he didn't write his shit.
Do you know who wrote Summertime?
No, who?
Rakim.
Really,
Oh,
Rakim?
yeah,
Rakim wrote
I heard that.
Summertime.
He
I heard
posted
that.
that, right? Like on a story.
Not 2 Chainz said that.
Oh, 2 Chainz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Smith's that popular song, right? That old popular song that he had.
Summertime. Well, he had
Yeah.
a bunch of poppy songs.
But like that was like the most popular one, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the
probably
flow
listen to
was
each
the
of those
same in
one
everything,
time,
too.
just-
Yeah, it's the exact same.
Yeah. I saw something interesting about his. You know, his kids are like they're interesting. They're very like artsy and like experimental type people.
Yeah.
And I was reading like this thing because like he released like a memoir recently.
Yeah.
So there's been a bunch of like shit just talking about the memoir coming out.
Poor fella.
And one of the things that is talked about in there, one of the things that's talked about in there is he's talking about how so him and his son did a movie called After Earth.
Yeah.
And they got really really bad reviews and the movie was horrible.
It was a stinker.
And apparently his son didn't even want to do it, but his dad was like, "We need you to do it. Like this is gonna be your big break. Like this is M Night Shyamalan. Like this is gonna make you even more famous." His son didn't want to do it. He makes his son do the movie. The movie's horrible. Everybody's trashing him, trashing his son. Jaden asked to be emancipated from his parents.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard
What the hell? That's some rich boy shit. Get the fuck out of here.
It's kind of fly.
They put you in a movie that ended up being bad, and now you're pissed. You were in a fucking movie.
I'm pretty sure it was way more than that.
I'm sure he like really pressured him. They probably had some big fights about
I
it.
think it was like
You know what's funny?
He didn't want to do it at all. His parents made him do it.
My cousin likes Willow Smith a lot. The daughter.
Yeah.
Apparently, she
makes
doesn't
good
have a very
music.
good relationship with him either. They don't like each other.
Really?
think-
Or well, she doesn't like him at least. Yeah.
She doesn't like Jaden or the dad. Or
The
Will?
dad.
I think
So both the kids,
They're-
for whatever reason, for different reasons. I'm
the
assuming.
parents just pressured them too much, man. 'Cause
Nah,
they,
Well, apparently
they-
she likes Jada a
Yeah,
lot.
they both like Jada.
Well, they both
I think,
like Jada.
I think a lot of people are different than what they present.
Yeah.
to
Absolutely.
their persona is different, especially like narcissists.
oh yeah,
People that are narcissistic, they come off as like, everyone loves them. They're a great person.
Yeah.
But like personally, when you get really close to them, you're like, oh, this person is like a really fucked up person. So I'm not saying he's that type of person, but if Willow has a fucked up relationship with him, it's it's
Must be
possible.
something, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Jaden, remember Jaden had that big ass song, and then Will did like the remix.
oh yeah.
And it's
fucked
like,
it
all
up.
right, bro. It's like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Like you didn't. This is my moment. Why you
Yeah.
just got to show up every time? I
You know
ask
what
for
I
shit?
heard? You remember when Willow had the whip my hair? That song?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So
What a banger.
I think Will Smith was like really pressuring her to like, I want you to go on a tour
Yeah.
and like do this and do that, blah 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 blah. And to like protest him, she ended up like shaving her head.
Yeah.
And after that, he was like, all right,
These
you can do
guys-
your own thing. We're good. Yeah.
These guys were born by the balls of Will Smith.
Yeah.
And they got the nerve to be that mean to the poor. He's just trying to help him. I mean, I get it. Maybe he
there's
was way
more-
too
I was
overbearing.
saying, maybe
and
there's
shit.
more pressure than we know. You know what I
But
mean?
come
Yeah, it's a lot of
on.
pressure.
They probably gave them all kinds of opportunities. He's just trying to help them.
But look
And
how
I
they
feel like
turned out
at this
now.
age now, they should be able to like see the other side of it. But I agree, especially like as a rich kid, and you're not doing anything, and your dad's just
I don't
like,
know, man.
they go on tour, and you're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
I
No,
think, personally, I think rich or poor, you can't pressure your kids. You have to like
Yeah.
present them options of like what the world is like, what could be done, and
Yeah.
like show them things that you think are interesting, and maybe they'll want to do that. But I don't
Yeah.
think you can say like, I need my kid to be a doctor. I need my
Yeah.
kid to be a lawyer. If you're not either of those, you're a piece of shit.
And one
they'll
thing,
build resentment.
and
You
one
know?
thing I'll
Absolutely.
say, like another sign that you can prove like Will is kind of a pressuring dad is that both of those kids, everything they do is out of rebellion.
Yeah.
Like
kinda
everything
true,
they
yeah.
do is rebellious as hell.
Oh yeah,
they are
That boy
very
Jaden
rebellious.
wearing skirts. I know he don't like wearing skirts, but he's just doing it because he want to be.
I don't
that
want
guy.
my water in a box, Jaden. I don't want it in
Yeah,
a box.
Well,
that's
damn it.
well, that's what happens when your mom fucks your friend and fucking embarrasses your dad on national
no,
TV.
yeah. Will's fucked
Well,
up,
yeah.
but Jada, she probably fucked him up.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like things
poor
aren't
guy.
always as they appear. Even with
Sure.
social media, everyone shows you their best moments, their best life.
Yeah.
But you don't really know what happens behind closed doors.
Yeah, you
So
don't-
you don't
Very
really know
true.
who these
You
people
don't see
are
them.
at
You
their
don't see them
core.
getting
Yeah.
beat by their baby daddy.
Yeah,
you know
'cause
what I mean?
We all love Fresh.
Yeah.
I also don't want to see that.
Jesus.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that like have this grandiose appearance about themselves.
Sure.
And then you really know them, or you like hear things about them, and you're like, oh, they're actually not really that person.
Yeah, or like people
yeah.
like have like that's a good point you bring up. People like present this like polished, like happy look, like they're traveling, but sometimes you meet people and they're deeply unhappy.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
Like, And I feel like that a lot of people are deeply unhappy.
I'm deeply
For
unhappy.
sure, yeah. I'm deeply unhappy. Yeah, I may be, massaging people. And
Are you really?
seem like
are
I'm
you really
happy and
deeply
doing
unhappy?
yoga, but
I mean, I've always been a sad boy. You know what I mean?
sad boy deep in your heart.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're unhappy. That just means you're probably just sensitive.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
Yeah.
maybe it is a sensitivity, but maybe like I don't. At the same time, I don't feel like a very emotional person, but maybe that's like a coping mechanism for being a sensitive.
Sure.
Why do you feel sad? Do you not feel fulfilled? Do you feel like
What's
you know,
lacking?
yeah. What's making
Dude.
you not happy? How do you
Wow.
feel today, Joe?
Hey, how do you feel today, right now, in this room with us?
It better be great.
It better be ecstatic.
What's the question again?
No, but like, yeah. What do you feel that is like lacking?
What do I
Like,
feel
what's
that's lacking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That no matter what I achieve, no matter what I have, I'll never be like fulfilled within myself.
Why do you say that though? What if you do achieve something?
Because
do you
every
feel
time like
all right,
I feel peace, I always feel like there's something missing, and no matter what, I'm never like completely content.
You ever hear about
Yeah.
the disease of more?
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is. You know what I mean?
that's
Like,
what capitalism did to you.
Yeah.
I think it's just human drive in a lot of ways too, not just like capitalism. I think it's like goes
think
all the
that's
way back to
American.
like.
Yeah.
I think it goes back longer
English,
than that.
bro. English people be happy with nothing.
Yeah. But that's because here, like,
Nothing.
we're the land of the opportunities. You just
Yeah.
want to. You see other people, and it is true. You could like make some crazy opportunities. I mean, we went to school with people that like have done cool things and stuff like that, just from random
I
opportunities
think
and shit.
It depends how you measure your happiness and your worth. Like for
Yeah.
some people, it's money, and they, like the more money they make, the happier they are, the more fulfilled they are.
Yeah.
For some people, it's like
Family.
with their
Like, I
family.
like to hang out
the
with my
more,
family most of the time.
the more time they spend with family, the more fulfilled they feel. Like the more kids they have, the more like well-rounded they feel. Shit like that. I mean, I think it really just depends on like what you truly value. At least
Yeah.
like that's what I've been trying to take stock of as I've been getting older. Is like, what do I truly value in my life? Is it money? Is it like is it I don't know, good times? Like is it things? Like what do I really place a value on?
Well, I feel like
great
it's
question.
a multitude of things because there's like a whole hierarchy of needs, right?
Yeah.
What is that pyramid?
Oh,
yeah, Maslow's
the-
hierarchy. of
Yeah.
needs.
Yeah.
Self-actualization.
So like I feel like
That's number one on mine.
yeah.
what is it?
Self
That- I think
Self-actualization.
self-actualization.
Self-actualization is at the very top.
Yeah,
that's
that's
once
top
you
for
get past
everybody.
like food, sex, love, safety, shelter, all that shit.
Yeah.
That's at the very top. Whenever you have everything, and you can really like focus on yourself and becoming like
Yeah.
a fully realized and person who's comfortable with themselves.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah,
No,
bro.
I'm
that
just
sounds like a good
I'm
time.
just thinking because I feel like a lot of I could say for myself there are some parts of the pyramid that are missing. It's like a Jenga
Sure.
ready to
I think the pyramid should be
topple
flipped.
over. What?
I think the pyramid should be flipped. Like,
Self-actualization
say
should be
that.
first.
Yeah.
Fuck food.
Fuck food.
Fuck food and
Fuck
shelter.
sex, throw food out the
worry about
window.
that later.
Food is making us fat. Throw it
I
out the
want to know
window.
if I should be an author or not. Fucking sell all my food in my house to write some
the
books. It's like, well, this didn't fulfill me. I failed at this horribly. No, but
You really thought you were onto something?
I
with
was.
that one.
I thought I had a bar, and then Omar said, "Fuck food." I was like,
no, but
you
that's
know
not
what?
that's not fair because that's like
a good
basic
point.
level needs. That's like basic level needs.
Yeah.
But
But
maybe
still- it's
flip
still a
like
need.
half of it upside down. Maybe.
Yeah.
What's like halfway up? That's like what's like it's like food and shelter, and then it's
I
like
don't need no shelter.
it's like family and love, right? Like from like
Family and
peers.
love is like in the middle or something like that.
What's
And
right above food and shelter?
food and those are like the bottom.
That's like the bottom.
There's like the bottom.
Oh, those are two different
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Food shelters.
All I
that's
know is I want to know
security
who
is
I
one
am
of
and I
them.
want to make myself happy.
Yeah, that's all I care about right
But
now.
that's a good point, Amy. Yeah, it all depends on like what you find value.
It's
in.
what
Yeah.
what you truly value, and I think all humans like search for meaning, but it also depends on like like we said earlier, your surroundings, right?
Yeah.
Like I was listening to this podcast with this artist, and he went out to like these people in it's like Tanzania, I think, and he like they're one of the last hunter gatherer tribes on Earth, right?
Oh wow.
And he went with them and he hunted with them. They hunt baboons. It's fucking crazy.
That's
There's no more meat left because there's no more other animals. They've killed all the other animals, so there's only baboons. So that's all they hunt, right? And they eat the brains and shit. It's pretty crazy.
Oh my
is
god.
it because of like overlogging and shit like that too, or
Yeah, it's
them
like that,
straight killing people?
that and like industrial hunting, shit like that. So they don't really have much left. So like he was like trying to talk to these people, and he was saying that these people are much happier than anybody he's met living in America. Like there's some of the happiest people he's ever met, and he said they're just all day they're just running, they're laughing, they're smoking weed, they're hunting, they're eating, they're farting. Like
Sounds
he said,
awesome.
he said they just have like such a happy existence, and they've never like seen a computer before. And then he asked them like, would you want to go to America? Like, can I take you to America? And they're just like, no. Like, why would I want to go there?
Yeah.
They were like, people throw themselves off buildings there. Why the fuck would I ever want to go there?
Because their basic needs are taken care of there.
Absolutely.
They got food every day.
It
They
is
got
kind of odd
shelter.
to think about. I'm assuming the average American, you go up to and you ask them like, "Hey, like genuine, like you sit down, and you really ask them like, are you happy?" I would assume most people would be like,
Yeah.
They wouldn't
Well,
really
I
like
don't-
jump at the answer yes.
I don't
Yeah.
think people are gonna say yes. I don't
Yeah.
think they might not say no, but they might say like,
It's
I'm
going to be a
okay.
hesitant yes.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people don't feel fulfilled
Well,
because
think-
there's too much going on, man. It's like phones, your job,
Think
your
about-
kids, all that shit.
Think
And you're
about
being shown
how-
so much shit that you could have, but you can't have.
And you feel like
Absolutely.
you're so like falsely connected with people because of social media because you
Oh,
see what
yeah.
they're doing every day, but like you're not really connected to them. Like people you may think like I remember what they've been doing for a month because I've been seeing their story, but you haven't spoken to them in a month.
Sure,
So it's
I
like,
mean,
what is this really? You know?
Think about our greetings too. Like, how are you doing? Like, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? No one's ever gonna say like, hey man, I'm not doing too well. Like, I had a really bad week.
yeah.
Like, my brother-in-law shot himself or something. You know what I mean? Like, no
Oh,
one-
that's rough.
You know what I mean?
That's rough as fuck.
No
Please
one-
keep that to yourself, sir.
Please do- but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Please don't ever say that
But why
again.
are we saying that? Why are we saying keep it to yourself? We should live in a society where we're more open with shit like that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just
Yeah,
like, you think that's why?
Joe was saying earlier how he does really bad when people cry around him, and I feel the same way. I think it's because of that. Yeah, because I don't
God.
really know how to console people. I don't know how to talk to people.
I just
about
want it
that.
to stop. Especially if it's from a woman.
It's that
Please
and also
zip it up.
being vulnerable. You
Sure.
know, being vulnerable with people
Yeah.
and actually like being vulnerable with people. Maybe you tell someone something that you've been holding on to for a long time. And then after the fact, you kind of like cringe. You're like, damn, like, why did I say that? Like,
Yeah.
why was I vulnerable with that person? And it kind of makes, I know I'm speaking for myself. It's like, I don't want to do that again. Like, I don't want to be vulnerable again. So I think a lot of us like hold things in. We don't really express them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, as men too. Like,
Yeah.
take
Oh,
that
for
a
sure.
step further.
And I
know?
think
yeah.
if we all had, nice fancy therapists, we'd be much more comfortable like
Very
expressing
true.
this kind of stuff. 'Cause
You know what? I feel like people that need therapy the most don't have access to it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
And a
To
lot of
people
them
in
either
poverty and shit?
either don't have
Yeah.
access or they're like culturally they're disenfranchised from it. Like
Yeah.
like if you ever talk to Hispanic people or Asian people especially, they do not fuck with therapy.
Yeah.
Like the way they see it is like those people are just stealing your money. They don't know shit. They're just trying to get you to come back, and they're going to get you on drugs so they can fuck you up and have you coming back forever and ever.
That's psychiatrist stuff. But I mean, if you, hey, shit, sometimes you gotta get put on drugs, I guess. Every now and then.
I don't
mean,
know,
as,
man.
as an
I don't
adult,
like-
I think
Nah,
now at this
man, I
age, you
don't
can
fuck
kind
with
of.
that.
No, I won't. But I'm just saying, like you know, how people get their kids like on like fucking Ritalin and shit at a super young age and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But no, sometimes I kind of agree because sometimes like you hear about what therapy does and like what they tell you, and I'm like, but I feel like it's common sense, right? Like I feel like we all know that, but I guess coming from a professional, it's different, you know?
It's common
Yeah.
sense
because they know what the right questions to ask. They
Yeah,
know the
but
right way to probe you.
The way they deliver it to you is like much better.
But
Yeah.
you
know
would
what I mean?
assume you'd be like, I mean, I kind of know that. Yeah, obviously you should
Nah,
do
sometimes
this. Like
sometimes
you,
you don't
do
know,
that.
bro. Sometimes you honestly don't know.
So from what
Well-
I've heard, they don't tell you how to live your life and how to make decisions. They don't tell you, hey, get up off your ass and get a job. They don't
Yeah.
do that, but they say like they give you the tools for you to be able to make that decision on your own.
Yeah.
And they tell you the why. Like, why do you feel that way?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
because of this that happened before, and you know what I mean. So it helps you kind of unpack your own shit and like kind of cope with it in a better way than like. I'm sure let's say something terrible happened to you in your childhood. You suppress that like hard.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure you do. You don't want to think about things like that. So the therapist will ask you the right kind of questions to get you thinking about it in the right kind of way.
Yeah. And a lot of people do bad shit and they don't even know why.
Yeah.
So at least if you have the understanding of why like you act a certain way, you can
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
break it down even more.
Yeah, it's like getting you to recognize patterns within
Yeah.
yourself instead of just kind of being like subconscious about them. And then in the moments you're like, oh shit, I'm acting this way. Let me change my behavior.
Yep.
And then in turn change my habits.
Yeah, man,
for sure.
I feel like we're all always living in the ego. You know what I mean? Like we're always living in the ego. Like when we drive, we're just a bunch of egos colliding. You know what I mean? But like sometimes we have to get out of that and look at things from like a wider perspective, which I feel like is hard to do sometimes because you're so in your little world, and you're like so wrapped up in it. And you forget that, like, there's a whole other world of people out there around you doing shit and like creating things and living their lives.
Oh yeah, when you think about it, like we're fucking nothing.
yeah, we're
when you
a
think
speck of
about
dust.
it,
So
yeah, we're a speck of
insignificant.
dust. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we feel like, if our egos were fucking put on a scale, we'd be fucking humongous.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, 100%.
How odd is that? Everyone feels super important.
That's how we survive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That is how we survive. That's
What
how
is
we
it?
place importance in like finding
main
food
character
and doing
syndrome.
things. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that shit's real. That shit.
But I feel like if we didn't have that ego, we wouldn't be here today. It'd be probably the Neanderthals or
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
true.
the other
That's true. Yeah,
They
that's
never felt the need to progress.
Yeah.
I have the opposite, bro. I have imposter syndrome. I shouldn't even be here. I shouldn't have gotten this far. No, I'm just kidding around. I don't. But no, yeah, I agree. It's a little
Well,
strange.
It's interesting you bring that up too. I feel like a lot of people who start like entry level jobs kind of had that shit. Like whenever like I started working, I had that for like the first like year and a half because I was like, oh man, I shouldn't be here. Like why the fuck are they paying me this much to do this shit? Like I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But like you get into a groove, and like if you have good like support around you in terms of like your coworkers and managers and shit, then you start to feel more confident in what you do, and you're like, okay, like I know how to do this shit.
Yeah.
And then like when you talk to people, you can talk confidently about the shit that you do and the work that you're creating, shit like that. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Yeah, because I mean, it's I don't know. I guess it depends on the person. Some people they write themselves up. Some people they write themselves off. You just like I don't know. You think about it too much. You think about it too little, and you're like, hell yeah, I could do this. Or you're like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was. I'm gonna change the subject a bit, but I
feel
was
free.
like thinking what y'all thoughts were on like dreams, and like if y'all think that dreams are like they have meaning, or they're
Yeah.
just like insignificant altogether, or like
I think they're
You know?
insignificant, bro. Because I have such dreams about legitimately random things that don't mean anything. Like to the point where it's like, okay, there's nothing this dream could mean because it's complete nonsense.
Yeah.
That's why I think they don't mean anything. They are interesting though. I think they're interesting, and maybe there's something in there that is like corresponding to like some kind of idea that I had, but I don't think it's necessarily like 100% like this correlates to this. At least
Yeah.
that's the way I kind of see it.
Yeah.
have y'all
I agree.
ever had dreams that like came to fruition, or
Yeah.
like okay,
Yeah.
yeah, tell me about it.
I can't remember. I for sure have dreams where like I meet people in them,
Mm-hmm.
because you know, like in a dream, like you can't make a new face.
Yeah.
But like there are times where like it'll be a face I've never seen before, and then I'll end up meeting that person in real life,
Okay.
and that's just wild. And it'll always be like a different situation than the dream. But
I've
yeah.
always heard in dreams you only dream of things you've seen. So maybe you've seen that person on social media or something,
Could be.
and then for whatever reason you ended up meeting them.
I mean, yeah, think about, you know, when
You
you're
know what I mean?
dreaming, the subconscious mind is tapping into the conscious mind. It's
Yeah.
taking over in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that's why sometimes, like, you ever have, like, dreams of memories?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
Or like random ass people, like a fucking teacher you had like in second grade, and you're like,
Absolutely.
what the hell are you doing?
Or you know how you have, like, random sex dreams about people that you never, like, when
Yeah.
you're awake, you'd be like, man, I'd never
Yeah.
smash that person. But in the dream, like, you're doing it, and it's just like, what the fuck? And then you wake up, you're like, man, I would never in my life go near that person.
Bro,
Like, you know
I'll
what
tell
I mean?
y'all a random thing. Like every year in September, I have a dream that we all go back to high school. Every year I have that
hilarious.
dream.
It's probably because it's right around school time starting, so you feel like
well,
your
yeah, but
body's
it's
conditioned.
It's
Like
also
this
like
is school
it's,
time.
It's like half school and then half like a reunion.
Ah.
And so it's kind of like I'm always like maybe like comparing myself or comparing shit I'm doing to like other people.
Yeah.
But that shit happens every fucking year.
You know what's odd to think about? If we were to go to our high school reunions, the 5-year one would have been last year. How weird is that?
That is crazy.
This
Yeah.
10-year one is coming up. That's weird.
I don't
Aging,
want to
man.
think about
That's
that.
odd.
Get some age on us, man.
Get some age on us. But yeah.
I'll-
I don't know, man. I feel like dreams, like it's almost like horoscopes, where you can kind of like for instance, I had a dream recently where it was like a Michael Myers-esque type of person chasing me around a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Incredibly scary. And I could be like, well, I mean that that has like that's like a an embodiment of this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this issue that's been like bugging me, that's been on my back or something like that.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Have y'all ever had dreams of past loved ones, like people that have died and they come in your dreams?
Yeah, sure. Like
actually, I
my
haven't.
grandparents sometimes. Like I
Okay.
had a dream about my grandpa a few months ago, and like he was talking to me. He kept trying to tell me something, but I don't know what he was trying to tell me.
Mm.
Oof, you gotta go figure that out, dude.
Well, how am I supposed to know? He's dead. You
So
know what I mean?
you gotta summon him.
So do you think
like, you guys seen Hereditary? Like,
Yeah.
like Hereditary.
just bring all his favorite foods and all his favorite things? But what was I was gonna say? Like, do you think that's like in your mind, or do you think like he's visiting you? Actually?
No, I think it's in my mind because
Okay.
obviously there's some unresolved stuff. Like, I was young when he died. I was like 12, 11,
Yeah.
so I didn't really know him well. I just knew like stories of him and of his life, you know what I
Okay.
mean? But obviously I didn't get to know him. So, I
Okay.
mean, I think it kind of plays into it.
Yeah.
All right, I say that to say this. I had a dream recently. Actually, it was last year before COVID hit, and I want y'all's thoughts on this because I don't know if this was like valid or not. But my dad's uncle died of a heart attack suddenly. He was doing gardening for somebody, and he died of a heart attack. Dropped suddenly, died.
Wow.
And I went to his funeral, and my dad's cousin was very close to him, and she was very distraught, like after he passed because he was like a father to her. And I went to that funeral. I saw her, like I was trying to comfort her and everything. And then that night I was laying in bed, and back when I would meditate, I was like sitting down meditating in my bed. And as I was meditating, I heard an owl outside of my window. It was like hooting, blah, 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 blah. Then I went to sleep, and I had a dream about him. And we were sitting at a table kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting on that end of the table. He was sitting on the other end of the table. And my cousin was sitting next to me. And I was looking across from him. And he was very, like, transparent. And he, like, it was almost like he was a ghost, but he had, like, colors. He had, like, colors going on. I don't
like
know how
an
to explain
aura.
it. Yeah, he had, like, an aura
Yeah.
going on. And he was basically telling her, like, you know, like, you need to be there for people in your life. And, you know, I know that you want to be with me, but you need to be grounded and you need to take care of the people in their life. But whenever, basically, whenever you do that, like after this life, you'll be with me. And then after that, I woke up, I called her immediately and I told her about the dream. And she started crying and she's like, oh, my God, thank you for telling me that. And then I told her the little bit about the owl. And she was like, that's so weird that you say that because my daughter, the night that he died, or in that morning that we found out, my daughter came to me and she's like, oh, I saw Paw Paw. His name was Paw Paw.
Yeah.
And he looked like an owl. And I was like, whoa,
That's wild.
that's really
Surreal.
freaky.
That's wild.
I was like, whoa, that's
strange.
really freaky.
See, it's stuff like that I believe in more so than like ghosts.
Yeah.
I feel like things like that, like the energy, like coming to Joe, and that little girl, right? Like somehow corresponding to both you guys.
Yeah.
Something like that seems way more believable to me than like an actual ghost moving a cup. You know
Absolutely.
I don't know. Because then I went and I looked it up. I was like, okay, what do owls... Because, you know, like Native Americans are like, animals have meaning.
Yeah.
I was like, what do owls mean? And they're like, owls are messengers for spirits.
That's
yeah.
wild.
They're messengers for like ancestors. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's wild.
So
Amen.
that's why I'm like, is this in my head? Like,
Nah,
am I
that's not
crazy?
your head.
Like, is this real? Like, you know, you start to question
Starts
things.
question a
You
lot.
question
It's,
life. Yeah.
it's odd how many questions that like are completely unanswered and will
Yeah.
not be answered in our living time.
I think there's
Yeah.
more that are unanswered than answered.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
Sometimes it's really crazy to think about, like especially afterlife, like death and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Like-
none of us truly know.
Yeah.
Even those who are religious, they can have as much faith as they want. They don't really know.
It could be a huge spectrum. It could be literally nothing, where you die and like that's it, your brain's done, and you go to black and there's no soul, and you're like a biological just thing, and now you're dead. Or it could be like I go and like everyone I once knew and loved like is alive in another afterlife, and I can still see them somehow, and I can go to their house and shit in the afterlife.
That'd be cool.
Or it
Yeah.
could be like
Yeah.
you're all just your own spirit, and you're living in your own afterlife with nobody else. You know what I mean? You could visit people. I don't know. It could be so many different
I like
things,
the
dude.
second one.
The second
Yeah.
one.
I'd be hanging out with Biggie and Kurt Cobain.
Hell
and
yeah, dude!
fucking
Just like
Tupac.
conjure up a car and just drive around and like.
I feel like they'd be a little busy.
Yeah.
Everybody dies.
That'd be-
They're like, yo,
that's what I
where
was
is
thinking,
Biggie?
I
though.
feel like there'd be parties all. If there was a heaven, there'd be parties all the time.
How
Oh,
would they
yeah,
set up how would the infrastructure work in a heaven? You know? That's what I want to know. How would the traffic work in a heaven? That's way too.
There wouldn't
many
be traffic.
people.
You just snap your fingers and things appear. Like I snap my fingers and a fucking hamburger would appear. in
Maybe
my
that's
hand.
true.
That's kind of tight.
Does that mean that everyone's on the progressive age we are now? Like with like
do
people
you
that
mean?
died like in the 1700s? Do they have cell phones up there?
That'd be wild.
Have they been growing with us?
I don't
but up
even,
there?
I don't think you even need a
Maybe
cell phone
they
up
have
there.
telepathy.
That's true. Yeah, you don't need a cell phone.
It's
God,
heaven, bro.
An angel
Yeah.
cell phone.
For there
Calling
to
my
be-
angel friends. Hey.
For there to be a hamburger in heaven, that means there has to be a cow in heaven.
You know the cat.
You know what's even worse too?
There's a slaughterhouse in heaven.
a slaughterhouse.
Well, we need to feed them somehow. Damn it. No, but hell, man. If there's a heaven, there's a hell. Hell sounds like trash.
Hell sounds terrible.
horrible.
I really hope.
You know the Catholics believe in purgatory.
that's
That's
like middle.
wild.
That's like limbo, right?
That's like the in between area before you can go anywhere.
Well, a lot of them
Do you
motherfuckers
have to like right your wrongs when you're in limbo, or like or you just
You
have to
know-
wait?
To be honest with you, I don't know what you have to do, but I know they believe in a purgatory.
You're just on a wait list.
Yeah, I think it's like a wait list.
You're number 1,878.
Yeah. I feel like Earth is heaven and hell, right? Because we experience
Dude,
ups and downs.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So maybe we're like in the in between. You know,
Yeah.
this
I've-
isn't heaven nor hell.
I've always
I
thought
feel like
if
it's
there
all
is. Oh, go ahead.
I feel like it's all a test. Like everything is just a test.
I agree. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I feel like as you're alive right now, you're showing. Listen, if there is an afterlife, it's certainly not a guy in a beard like we think it is. It's like a
Yeah.
fucking orb that like controls the universe and shit,
Yeah.
and like all that kind of stuff. It's not a person for sure.
Crazy
It's nothing you
thing
would ever
is-
talk to. So I'm assuming if someone did that, like if you lived your life a good person, you go to heaven. If you lived your life a shitty person, and deep down you're biologically set to be a bad person, I guess you'd go to hell. But I don't know. It seems like a really man-made idea. But then again.
Oh yeah.
What if
maybe that's
you
just
go
way
to
to write it
hell
off.
for like a little bit, you know? Like you pay off your debts, you go to hell for a little bit, then you go to heaven for a little bit.
It's like jail.
And then, yeah, it's like jail. Yeah, it's like that. What if it's like that instead of just like a fucking eternity of damnation.
I hope
Jesus,
not.
man.
I've seen
So-
Little Nicky.
So like the theory is like when I've talked to like my Muslim friends who are like pretty into their like religion.
Yeah.
That they're like imagine like all right, so committing suicide is like a sin, especially in like Islam and like the main Christian like Judaism religions, right? Christian Judeo religions. He was saying that like if you commit suicide, let's say if you jump off a bridge and that's how you died in real life. In hell, you'd be doing the same thing over and over and
my
over
God.
and over.
Well,
like trash.
I actually heard something like that where I don't know how true this is, but this guy was like, yeah, like I go and actually I help souls pass over. And there are people, I think they were like during 9/11, there are people who died and they like jumped off the building.
My God.
And they're like, these people can't let go. And they keep experiencing that over and over again. And I'm like a trampoline for them. Like whenever they're falling, I'll become a trampoline and I'll help them like bounce back up. And I'm like, hey, are you ready to like get over this? And I don't know how true that is, but
Yeah.
like
That
that's
sounds
kind of what you reminded me of.
It's a damn shame though. That sounds like punishment for trying to like.
That sucks, especially in that situation. Like you didn't call for any of that.
Also, I feel like sometimes it is okay to kill yourself. What if like it's a zombie apocalypse and they're closing in on you? Player, I don't want to get barged in here and eaten to death.
The Multicultural Misfits podcast is not endorse suicide.
We definitely don't.
We do not endorse
Only in
suicide.
crazy situations like zombie apocalypses and 9/11.
Yeah.
If I'm on the goddamn building of 9/11, boy, I am killing myself. I'm not hanging out there. I'm gonna go to the most smoky part and just and just like pass out, man. That fucking sucks. That's scary as hell.
Isn't 9/11 like a crazy one? Like it's crazy because it happened in our lifetime too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like legit, supposedly terrorists attacked these two buildings and fucking destroyed them and killed all these fucking people.
Yeah, all I'm saying is jet fuel doesn't melt steel.
A guy
That's
actually
the biggest
did,
conspiracy.
a guy did a YouTube video on that.
does?
And
It
it does.
No, I don't actually know what happened. I never looked at the conspiracy, but it does seem like a weird story, right?
The whole thing seems strange,
Seems
man.
very fishy.
You're-
And then we just so happened to go over there and we got some oil.
Yeah, you were just saying that like as if weird things hasn't happened after the fact.
Absolutely.
We've
Yeah.
lived through some really fucking crazy shit recently.
Absolutely.
Yeah. so I'm
Strange shit has happened.
And
in
it's
our
crazy,
lives.
right in
like
our
how
face, too.
very shocking and traumatic things happen, and we just live life like nothing.
I know.
Yeah,
It's like,
we
well,
just,
it's somewhere
we just
else.
hope, we hope it doesn't happen to us, and we continue living our life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like things like things that happen even here in Texas, like the Walmart shooting, like the guy who shot like 30-something people in the Walmart.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know what I
crazy,
mean?
yeah.
Imagine you're there, you're shopping, and someone fucking starts shooting people. What the fuck is wrong with?
Or the
people, man?
Vegas one.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, that was
that
a
one's
crazy.
crazy.
The
That was-
the ones that really stood out to me bad during that like good little run we had with like mass shootings. The Vegas one and Sandy Hook. Those I was like after Sandy Hook, I was like, "There's no fucking way they're not going to do something about this."
Yeah.
And they didn't. And then the Vegas thing happened like several months later, and I was like, "There's no fucking way." This guy injured like literally 600 people or something. It killed like 200.
Yeah.
I was like, "There's no fucking way they're not going to do something about automatic guns," and they didn't.
Yeah.
And then it just got worse and worse, and then everyone was like, all right, well, if I kill people, they'll get on the news, and, I don't care about my life, I don't care about theirs, I might as well do it.
Yeah, the crazy thing about the Vegas shooting was this guy had really no motive. He was pretty much a normal guy.
Yeah,
Like
he was a
the-
millionaire.
He was a millionaire, yeah.
So it's like, what caused this man to just
I didn't even know
explode one day? Yeah,
Absolutely.
Just
Like, what
bad person
What made
inside.
it? What made him want to do it? Like, it's so strange.
It's probably just a bad person. And just, got to the point where he was like, all right, I think I've lived enough life.
Oh,
It's
you
time
know
to
what?
do,
I
time
just
to just, let it rip.
I don't know if y'all remember this guy. He was on Facebook Live and he was having a situation with like his girlfriend.
Oh,
and he was
yeah.
like, oh, I want to fucking kill somebody. I'm gonna fucking kill somebody, and I'm gonna do this shit right now. It was a black dude.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And then he was like recording himself on live, and he ended up like going up to this old man, and he was like, just know that this is because of, I guess, his girlfriend at
Yeah.
the time, and he ended up like killing this old man
Just
on
shot him?
Facebook
Oh,
Live.
yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
shot
about
him and
that.
killed him, and just like went on the run, and he was like, yeah, this is what you made me do. Blah 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 blah.
What is wrong
I
with
just
people?
snapped, and he was like a normal dude before that.
I don't care what his girlfriend did. What? That's
I guess-
not her
okay,
You're
I
just a
think-
shit person that wanted to
Yep.
fucking blame it on this poor girl because she
Yeah.
probably broke up with you.
Apparently, she had a problem with his gambling, and
Well, that
it was
sounds
like
like a
either
problem.
It's his fault.
You won't take care of your kids. You know what? I'm fucking sick of this. I'm gonna shoot this, shoot this old
yeah,
guy.
she
dude.
gave him an ultimatum, and he was like, well.
Let's say he came in and she's getting fucked by 3 dudes. You still don't go out and go fucking shoot some people. You know what I mean? Let's say you came home and she's beating the shit out of your cat. You still don't go out and go fucking shoot people.
Hold on,
you know
hold
what I
on.
mean? That has nothing to do with anybody else.
I will say the one moment that really fucked me up in the past 20 years was when Homeboy shot up the movie theater for Dark
Oh,
Knight.
the Batman one.
That
was
one
insane,
fucked me up.
The
man.
New Zealand one was pretty bad
And
too.
that one still fucks me up to this day. Like
Yeah.
right now, I'm still like, yo, I don't even know if I could be in theaters.
Bro, you know what's fucked up? Every now and then, for whatever reason, with certain movies, I'll feel like a really uneasy feeling and be like, especially when it's like a movie where there's not a lot of people. In the theater. I'm sorry about that. I switched hands.
Omar's turned his mic up like 3 times.
Especially like in a movie where there's not a lot of people and it's like a dark movie about people dying and shit.
Yeah.
Like I'll be in the theater and I'm just like,
That's how you're supposed to feel.
I just feel weird, man. I feel like out of nowhere, like near the climax of this movie, someone's gonna stand up and just start spraying
Oh,
everybody.
yeah.
never mind.
You know what I mean?
That's not how you're supposed to feel.
It's not how you're supposed to feel. No, it's nice. I'm just trying to enjoy this goddamn movie. I'm
Surprise!
watching
This
Boss
is how the
Baby and shit.
This is how the movie ends.
I'm just trying to watch Venom.
I'm just trying to watch Venom, damn it. I'm just trying to see Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
No, but I feel that sometimes because you never know, man.
Yeah, for real.
Someone did that with another movie, like this year, didn't they?
I wouldn't be
I don't
surprised.
know.
I didn't hear
And I
about
forgot
that.
what movie it was, but it was another movie for sure. Someone did that with.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, but that Dark Knight one was bad.
I think
because
that guy
wasn't he
was
dressed
like
up
a-
like the Joker or some weird shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, did he?
No, he just dyed his
Yeah.
hair like pink or some shit.
Yeah, but you know he was going for.
He was
Yeah.
a big insult though.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like no bitches whatsoever.
No
Like,
bitches.
no
No
bitches.
bitches.
No
none.
bitches can drive men to do crazy things, bro.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
Like the New Zealand shooter, New Zealand Christchurch. You guys know what that is? The guy who shut up the mosque. Was it a mosque?
Yeah.
Or was
Yeah.
it a? Yeah, it was a mosque in New
Yeah.
Zealand.
Evil on live too.
He's a fucking incel, man. Like they go on these websites like 8chan, 4chan, all that shit, and they just fucking like say like racist shit, and like none of them have ever fucking touched a girl, but that fucking drives them crazy. So they talk all this shit and they fucking go insane and they fucking kill people.
That's.
Yeah,
I
bro.
think there is something to that. Being sexually deprived.
100%.
Because like, don't a lot of boxers like they don't have sex or they don't masturbate like months leading up to fights, and that's
Yeah.
what makes them really aggressive and
Jesus
angry.
Christ.
But they also said Mike Tyson fucked before every fight.
Well,
Yeah.
that's because I feel like he was so full of.
He would kill
testosterone
somebody.
and
If he
anger.
did it
less.
If he
Yeah.
killed someone. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's a lot of people like that too. Yeah, social deprivation. Is that the
Yeah.
word? Yeah, that's what you say, right?
Yeah.
Social deprivation, sexual deprivation, all that shit. Like close family deprivation. You know, like if you have no one around you and you're just by yourself and you have a decent job to the point where you can pay for like random fucked up shit like guns and grenades and stuff like that, you're bound to do some bad shit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people in the chat, like when he was in the live, a lot of people were like cheering him on and whatever platform he was on.
Yeah.
They were loving it.
What was the weren't people writing like manifestos or letters
that's
and
sick,
encouraging
man.
other
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
to
during
do
that
that?
during that run of
yeah, they
school
were like-
shootings, that was a lot of.
They're like, go on, brother, go on, like in peace, go on with valor, shit like that. Like all
In what
kinds of.
world do these people think that they're like good people or
I
heroes?
don't know, bro.
Like what? In what way? You think that like we're the sheep and you're the good person putting us like
They think
in
that,
paradise or
exactly.
something?
They think we're the sheep. They think they're woke. They see the world for how it really is.
crazy.
We're asleep. We just go on with our lives. We don't know what's really going on. That's what they
Yeah.
think happens.
so like their life doesn't matter. I am like they're basically thinking I am God.
Yeah,
And these
pretty
people
much.
don't really know what life really is, but I'll show them.
I think it's because they're virgins.
Yeah, I think
Also that,
they ain't getting
yeah.
no pussy, brother. That's why. You should
when
get
I was
them
a
in the
virgin, I was a
courtroom.
very rabid man.
Get like 100 dudes in there and just get them to clown them before they go to jail. And just fucking slap them around. Have them like handcuffed to the chair. And you could just slap them and kick
It's
them and
crazy.
shit.
Like being a virgin could either make you a monk or it could make you a fucking mass killer.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's like maybe there is an in between.
Maybe there's in between.
The
Because I for
thought,
sure was not a monk.
the thought of no sex, no jerking off is the craziest thought I've ever had.
Bro, if-
how do you function as a person biologically not getting your nut out?
You're just full of cum.
How does that work?
That's all I can think
How do you
of.
not feel like the most ultimate blue balls ever?
I honestly think that's why a lot of priests are so fucked up in the head.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
that's
Oh,
why they
hell
do
yeah.
fucked up shit. Like,
Yeah.
let them have wives, bro. Why can't they just have a wife?
Why would God care about that? It's one of those rules.
It's strange.
That's why religion, I always like
It's
tend to write
bullshit.
it off
It's
because
all
there's
bullshit.
always a weird rule like that where I'm like, why would anybody make that? And if there was a God, why would God say that?
It's
You can't have a wife. It's like, what are you talking about?
It's always funny in the cults where it's like no one could have sex but like the main
Yeah.
ringleader, and he's like banging everyone's girl.
Exactly.
He's like, but me, and I get to fuck your wives and your daughters. Okay, but you guys can't have sex.
But you guys can't have sex. But I can fuck all of
You
y'all.
know, like I've talked about this with the guys before, Joe. But like, why do you think people fall for these cults? Like, what do you think it's because of our predetermined nature to want to be a part of a group? Like, you think that's what makes people like be a part of these cults? Like, what makes them be a part of it, and what makes them go along with it?
I think you answered the question.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about that earlier too. We were talking about how easily programmable like we are as humans, right? Like even how the media kind of manipulates our like motives and the algorithm and everything like that.
For sure.
I think it's literally the same thing. We're just easily manipulated and we're easily programmable as human beings. That's really what it is. And people like to have a sense of belonging to something and a sense of being special. And a lot of times, like cults, they'll make people feel like, oh, we're the chosen ones, we're the special ones. Like you're gonna go to heaven, you're gonna be special, and you're above everybody else. That's literally what that is. And there's always a charismatic leader. Yeah. And if you ever met a charismatic person, their energy is so contagious. You're like, damn, I want to follow that guy. Yeah. Like I want to be behind that guy. That's literally what it is.
I mean, they just buy into it and it just keeps going and going.
And then they move their family to a whole nother state. And they let the wife get fucked by some guy. And it's just a bunch of wild shit.
Bro, as soon as they start trying to fuck my wife, I'm out of there.
I'm like, bro, something's up here.
Yeah, I was like, all right, this is a little sketchy. I didn't think we were gonna be doing
it,
this.
honey, I knew it. Come on, let's go. I fucking knew it. It's a whole ploy to fuck you.
Like, did you guys ever hear about that? It was a documentary, right? It was about this family in Idaho, and they had this neighbor.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
he was this guy from out of town. And what he did, like he became like very like familiar with the family. He'd go over like a family friend type thing, right? They had like a 14-year-old daughter. One day he kidnaps her, right? Drugs her. She wakes up. He convinces her that basically a bunch of aliens tried to like abduct her or some shit, and he's like the savior. And the only way to save Earth is for him to like have sex with her. Mm-hmm. So like he has like a relationship with this 14-year-old girl, and the parents are okay with it, right? Even because of the fact that he has been fucking the parents too. Mm-hmm. So he started fucking the wife, and he got the dad to give him a hand job.
Wait, I knew about that. I didn't know about the daughter thing.
Yeah.
So they let him just take their daughter and like, all right, well, she's over there.
Yeah, and she became like convinced that like this guy was her like God basically. Like if she didn't do what he said, like the Earth would be destroyed. She believed that.
This guy must have been very charismatic.
Because he was charismatic, but he also used like this bullshit like evidence, like lights and like all this like he staged like this whole thing. He put her in like a room and he used like a fake voice and shit, like all this shit. Really, it was elaborate.
Scooby-Dooed it for real.
Yeah, it was elaborate to make like, and he like legit like took over her life and shit, and then like convinced the dad to give him a hand job. I don't know how he did that.
That's the wildest part of the whole
slick
story.
Motherfucker.
I think he deserved it.
That guy
seemed like a lot of effort he went through.
He did a lot, bro. He had some meat on him or something.
Seemed like he pulled that off pretty good.
Wait, that's the craziest part of the whole thing. Not that he like convinced the girl that like aliens were coming. I know that him and the dad were in the car. He's just like, the wife likes it, so.
Your daughter likes it too. He's just like,
bring your hand over here.
I'll check it out. The aliens are gonna kill us all if you don't jerk me off in this car.
I think the daddy was just gay, man.
Daddy's probably loving it.
Honestly, dude, like what, a guy takes out his dick and says, "Fucking come on!" Like, what do you mean? What's wrong with you? If you're gay, you're gay. Like, if not, why did he do that?
How does a person convince you of such things?
Exactly.
What could he have possibly told you to convince you of such things?
To be able to fuck your wife and then convince you to give him a hand job.
When the police come, imagine them telling them the story of like why this all happened, and they're just like, "He did what now?" It's like, well, he said the aliens. It's like
the alien.
The what? It's like he's looking at them like they're crazy the whole time they're explaining the story.
Wait, so the dad gave the guy the hand job?
Yes.
Yeah. The guy got everything.
So I feel like the guy didn't give a fuck as long as he got to give the guy the hand job. He's like, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Fuck my daughter, fuck my wife. I'll jerk you off.
Yeah, I don't care.
Just make sure the earth doesn't blow up, dude.
They're just dumb parents, man.
That's a bad family.
Oh yeah.
It's
horrible
terrible family.
Imagine being like neighbors and like just looking out the door and be like, hey, there's Joe over there.
Yeah.
I don't know why Joe came in my head. Joe is just a very good name.
Oh, Joe. Joe,
like,
you doing that type of shit?
Oh, hell no.
It's always a dude named Joe from fucking You. You seen You?
The show You.
I haven't seen that show, but have you been hearing a lot about that since your name is Joe?
I watched it.
It's pretty
good.
It's really good.
It seems like it'd be unbelievable. Though. How does he kill so many people? I've never seen a single minute of the show, but I just feel like how does he pull that off? It just seems like one of those coincidental shows.
The show sets it up very well in terms of the way he's like very ritualistic with the way he does these things, the way he stalks these women, the way he approaches them, the way he's like very careful.
So the way he foolproof, kind of.
Absolutely, like very, very much. But
so it is believable.
Yeah, but like as the season starts to progress, it becomes much less so because of the things that he engages in and the people he involves within his schemes.
Yeah,
Is he
I
catching,
hear,
like,
his girl is killing people too in the new
Is
one.
he catching like a lot of bodies? Like how many people are dying?
I don't know. It's
Is it
hard
under
to say.
10?
Is it like a body
No,
an
he's
episode?
killed at least 10 people during the show.
God damn.
That's out of like 30 episodes, right?
Yeah, maybe 30, a
It's a
little
fair
bit more
amount
than
of
30.
people. It's a fair amount.
That's a fair amount of people right there.
Yeah,
One
I
per
can't.
episode. That's a lot of people.
I can't kill people, man. That's.
Thank you. Thank you, Omar.
That's too much work.
I tried once, I just couldn't. I can't do it. No, but like the thought, just the thought.
It's too much work for you, bro.
Too much work.
It's too much-
I'm
too
happy
much.
you came to that
Seems like a lot of
conclusion.
effort. I don't think I'm into this.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it does seem like a lot of effort though. Disposing of a fucking body seems like a lot of work.
I'll buy a wood chipper. We can do it.
Yeah.
Wood chipper, damn.
A wood chipper.
God damn.
I'm holding
That's
on
all
to
it
that
takes?
theory. Because I don't got nothing else.
Or maybe like a barrel of acid.
Yeah,
Oh,
kind of like
yeah.
how they do in Breaking Bad.
Breaking
Yeah.
Bad way.
How they fucking just like use the fucking chemicals to break them down.
I know Walter's fictitious, but I would assume that he's the smartest guy, and so I would, I'd listen to him.
Oh yeah,
Put it in a
I mean,
tub.
they
Put it in a
don't-
tub. Put it in a bathtub and just fucking burn that shit up.
no,
no, because it got fucked
burns
up
through
in
the
the show.
fucking
Yeah,
tub.
because it burns through.
Well, it's because
the
Jesse
tub.
didn't buy the right type of containers. Remember?
Yeah.
He was supposed to buy the ones that don't burn. That doesn't burn through.
No, he did
But
it in a
bought-
bathtub.
Oh yeah, that's
He was
right.
supposed to
And
do
was
it in like
like
a
a bathtub.
I was supposed to do it like in a barrel or something.
That's right. That's right. It was
That
Jesse
shit was
Pinkman's fault.
hilarious. And now you just got dead body all over your fucking living room floor.
Ooh, that's disgusting.
I don't want to be anywhere near a dead body.
Oh my god.
Even a dead animal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's rough.
What about a dead roach?
Not even a dead
I don't
roach.
give a fuck about a dead
A
roach.
dead
A
roach.
dead roach. A dead bug.
Yeah, I don't
You know,
care.
I enjoy flushing bugs.
Oh, me too. I enjoy killing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
Not
fun.
killing
fuck
them,
a
but picking
roach
them up alive and then flushing them
Sounds
into
kind of fun.
Oh, really? Alive?
Yeah.
You like they're squirming around the roaches?
Yeah, grab it with a little piece of toilet paper and just flush
kinda
it.
You can grab
sadistic.
a
Roaches
an
are
alive-
just
that you enjoy that.
Fuck them.
I mean, I would feel indifferent about it, but the fact that you like get joy.
would
I
feel
was like,
different about it.
I'm like, this is what you get, you son of a bitch,
No.
for infecting my room and
Wait,
my.
you can
bathroom.
grab a roach while it's alive?
Yeah, with a little napkin. You,
I'll
and
do
you
that
fucking
shit
toss
too.
it.
Well,
That's
squirming
crazy.
idiot. I got you by your stupid
So let me
little
ask you
back.
guys: would you ever eat bugs?
No.
If I had to.
Let's say if it's like chocolate covered crickets or some shit.
Oh yeah, I'd give it a go.
if I'm
it's
in a
cultural
different
thing, yeah.
country and they offer it to me, yeah,
I'd give it a go.
I would.
Let's
I'd
say
do
both
it.
here and a different country.
No, I'm not gonna go out of my way to eat that shit.
Yeah, of course. Let's say you go to someone's house and they have they're like, oh hey, I have some stir fried barbecue crickets. Do you want to try some?
Oh, I'll try it then.
I
sounds
try it.
interesting.
I don't want to insult them.
yeah.
yeah.
But if I'm at a different country, I'd give it a go. I actually had a lollipop one time with a beetle in it in Egypt.
It's kind of sus, bro.
But I didn't. You know what's crazy? I was just a boy. I was too scared. I didn't get to the beetle. I threw it out before I got to the beetle. I didn't actually eat the beetle.
That's a good thing, actually.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do this. This is too scary. What's gonna happen when I fucking unearth this thing? Is it gonna start moving?
Were you scared of the beetle, or you didn't want to like harm life, or that? I mean, it was already.
It was already dead.
But
I'll be
still,
honest.
Eat that shit.
It wasn't because of the life, but but there are certain animals I don't care about. Beetle, I do feel bad about, but it was already dead.
They even
But
count
like
those
a
mother-
roach, a mosquito, and a fly.
Oh
those,
no, fuck
Those can
mosquitoes.
fuck.
Do I count
clean
them as
off.
alive? I mean,
I'm
they're
about to say,
fucking
yeah.
bugs.
When I get a mosquito alive,
Why do
I'll
you
do
care
some
about
evil shit
beetles?
to that motherfucker.
A beetle
Yeah.
is a fucking a roach.
He didn't deserve it though. Roaches come into your house looking for trouble. Beetles
have-
don't do that.
Yeah.
no
they
sympathy
don't.
for bugs.
I feel bad for like
Amy
spiders.
doesn't give a fuck
I have
about
like-
none. I
you know
am
what I
the-
feel bad
I'm
for?
the Hitler to bugs.
I feel
Yeah,
bad for
yeah.
Fuck
spiders.
about them.
I feel bad for those daddy long leg mosquitoes. Something
what?
about them, they just seem so helpless. Poor guys, they can't even fly right.
But
I
spiders,
just feel like they don't deserve it. They're nice guys.
spiders eat other bugs in your house.
They do.
Yeah.
Spiders, I don't actually kill them because I feel like they eat other bugs. So I
Yeah.
leave them be, depending on how big they are and how they look. You know, a buddy of mine, he lives out in Katy. They were in his garage recently. They were playing pool because he's the pool table out there, and his cousin who lives with them noticed some this little black spider and had a little red thing on it.
Oh.
It's a black widow. It's one of the most fucking venomous, whatever,
Yeah.
poisonous spiders in the world. And he noticed in his garage. And I was like, bro, that would be. Imagine if you're barefoot playing pool out there.
Hell no.
This thing bites you. Holy fucking shit.
It's time to sell the house.
Bro, imagine you get bit and like, imagine he got bit. His cousin came into the room and he's on the floor, like spazzing out, and he doesn't know what the hell happened.
But the thing is,
how would you even think?
They
of,
don't
like,
go out
shit,
of your
Black
way
Widow?
to attack you, though.
No, they
Yeah,
don't.
you gotta
But
go near 'em,
what if
yeah,
you
bro.
accidentally like fucking like sweep some
Oh,
shit out
yeah,
the way
yeah.
and they fucking.
I have heard they're aggressive too. They're pretty small, but like they're aggressive. So if you're in like their territory, aggressive.
Hearing
yeah.
a spider being aggressive is hilarious.
Hey, you come around here, I'll beat the shit out of
Those
you, boy.
motherfuckers are scary. They're quick
They
as
are.
fuck.
And if you lick
They
one
are
in the
quick as
face,
fuck.
bro, that shit is terrifying.
Oh yeah, man.
You ever seen 8-Legged Freaks?
No, but I won't.
The fucking
It's a great
giant
movie.
spiders.
Yeah, it's a movie
There are
about
probably giant
spiders.
spiders roaming the earth like hundreds of millions of years
I guess
ago.
Hell
for
yeah,
all we
roaches
know.
were like the size of this fucking table. Back
Well,
in
have
the
y'all
day.
ever been to like those parks where like the spiders are like big as fuck? Like they'll have like ants that are like
Excuse me?
huge.
Is this a real?
It's
Like
like
is
statues.
this
It's like
fictional?
statues.
I never seen that.
No.
Like a zoo or what?
I think it was in like not Disneyland. What's the other one?
Universal.
Or yeah.
Universal.
Universal,
Disney.
Universal. Yeah, but it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like that little type.
Oh, that's
thing.
cool.
Interesting.
It's like you got shrunk, and it's just big ass like spiders and shit.
I've always thought the image of like a large insect is the scariest shit ever.
It is
because they're so fast
scary.
as it is. So I always wonder, like gravity. You know, I'm sure they'd be a little slower if they were larger, but like, would they still be like fucking like the Flash?
I think so.
Like moving as like, especially spiders, because they're so fast. Spiders are so fast.
Dude, if there were like, let's say tomorrow we woke up and there was like a plague of giant insects, like
Oh,
giant
nah.
insects, we would die honestly because they can fly, because they can move so quickly and they're agile. Like
I think we could
take
take them.
I don't know, bro.
The army?
What insects are we talking about?
Bro, I've slapped a fly and it
We
survived.
fucking nuke 'em.
At my big size. Nuke 'em?
Fucking, all right, no,
is
let's say
facts.
like let's not say
Flamethrowers
insects.
for
Let's say like a
everybody.
giant wasp. Like giant wasps are just everywhere.
Oh,
We could take them.
Yeah,
pick
we
the
could take
worst
'em.
one, bro. Those guys are scary.
Because I
as
feel
shit.
like their stingers would be 10 times bigger. You'd be able to see them. You can
Yeah.
like move out of the way.
I guess fair enough, they would be bigger, but I mean, if that thing pierces you, that thing goes
you're dead.
directly
And
through.
they
You're
would be
dead.
so fast.
But we have guns.
It's gonna fucking kebab
Yeah,
you.
we do have guns.
It's true. We do have.
True.
I mean,
We
I
have
don't.
bombs.
I don't have a gun, but I'd get a
True,
gun.
we have like nukes.
Well, the
Like,
army would
shit like
protect
that.
us.
Yeah, they
hopefully.
would. We have drones.
Yeah.
Drone
You
strikes.
send a
should-
drone to attack a wasp.
Yeah.
We should trust the army in their long history of protecting the people.
Yeah, if we ever got attacked by giant insects, I'd like to hope I'd get a government issued gun. Everyone
better.
gets a government issued gun so you can shoot down the wasp.
I thought you were against guns.
No, I'm with guns, but I don't think we need automatic. This is what AB was saying. He agrees with automatic
yeah,
guns.
Why?
why not?
I feel like we don't need them.
We don't need them.
I feel like unless you're
don't
really
need
certified,
'em.
like you taking a class, like a hard class.
I don't care. I want one. I don't care. Present any logic you want to me, bro. I don't care. I want one.
Damn it, I want one.
I want one. I want to go out and shoot one. It's fun.
But you're a sane person.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong.
Then we
I
got
just-
Kyle Rittenhouse running around shooting
Exactly.
people.
I'm not Kyle Rittenhouse.
Shit.
I'm a stable individual. I have
I
a
know.
good job. I make good money. I want to
Yeah.
go shoot a gun.
But you're one of the few.
Yeah, you want to
Spectrum.
That's true.
Spectrum.
That's
you
true.
know what I mean?
That's a fair enough statement. But I still want to do
'Cause
it.
it's fucked up, bro. Because in a lot of ways, in a ton of ways, like drugs, guns, all that shit.
Yeah.
The few fucked it up.
Yeah.
Most of us,
That's true.
we're just having a fun time smoking a little
What if
weed.
they were like-
no one's getting into any trouble? We're
What if
just
they
having
were
fun
like,
shooting a little bit, defending ourselves, but like other people fuck it all up.
Like a shooting range. Like you just go to the shooting range and they have them. And that's the only time you can shoot them.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say. What
I
if
don't mind
only
that.
shooting
Okay,
ranges
that's
had
good.
them? You
Let's
can
do
rent
that
them.
But I
Joe
want,
Biden, give me
but I
on the
want to
phone.
bring mine home.
Yeah, sure. I'll shoot it over there, but I want it at home too.
But I
And
want
he's
to
gonna go. He's gonna wear like a trench coat. And he's just gonna sneak out with the AR in his pocket.
Well, no, it's cheap because it's cheaper to have your own and then bring it there, and you just have the ammo. You buy the ammo and shoot there
You
instead of having to
RPG.
rent.
So I want it.
I would love to shoot an RPG.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. It'd
The
be
thing
pretty
is,
cool.
Come on,
I feel
now.
like people would always find a way. This is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But if someone really wanted to kill a large amount of people, they'd
Oh,
find a
yeah.
way to fucking do
Dude,
it.
like in the 80s,
Yeah.
there was this huge fucking thing where these people, because Tylenol used to come in capsules, right?
Mm-hmm.
Capsules you can open, you can pour everything out. So there was this case, and a lot of people died. This guy was putting, I think it was anthrax, either anthrax or this other chemical, like cyanide or something,
yeah.
God.
in Tylenol, and people were taking it, and they were dying. And a lot of people,
at the factory.
they never found out who it was, never. And he killed a lot of people. I assume it was a guy.
Why you say
What?
he? Yeah.
It could have been a woman.
I don't know. Women usually poison.
Women are more prone to like poisoning and like stabbing.
Yeah, they be doing the sneak shit.
That's 1800s for you. You get away with anything.
Yeah, women are sneaky.
Yeah, we're nice. I'll tell you what.
I mean, hey, is that not an over or understatement? I
They
mean, come
are.
on now.
We're a lot more blatant about our.
Yeah, men
our
are more
anger
blatant, and that's why
viciousness.
women say men are dumb because we're more blatant about the shit that we do. You know
Very
what I
true.
mean?
Why do you think we get caught cheating so much?
Yeah,
You
dude.
know?
Bro, girls will cheat
100%.
for
we're
years and
stupid
you'll never
about it.
even know it.
Yeah, well, yeah. You'll never know because they keep it a
It'd
secret.
be your best friend.
I don't
It'd be
know.
your damn best friend.
I definitely think men cheat more than women.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
think-
about that
actually,
one.
no, no.
Nah,
Joe,
girls
I
be
think-
cheating.
I think it's on a
I'm not
scale.
sure.
I think it's on a scale.
What?
I think it's on a sliding scale. Like let's say if there's a guy who cheats a lot, there's probably like for the opposite, there's probably a woman like him who cheats probably like that or even more.
Maybe
women
now.
get thrown on
But
their
think
laps
about
way
it
more often.
Just think about it like historically. Like women, they fucking if they hook up with a guy, they have a kid, they have to have that kid for 8, months or 9 months or whatever, they have
Yeah,
a baby.
that's
They can't just
true.
go sleeping around with people. Or guys, we could stick our dicks in anybody, and we can just keep on sticking and moving, and we can do what we
anything.
want.
Yeah,
That's
you
true,
want, you
that's
want to be
true.
over. That's true. Because imagine like being a woman. For one, you're more in tune with like your emotions and shit.
Exactly.
And you're letting a person put their extra skin inside of you and shit. It might give you a baby. Yeah, I would imagine most women would just be like, yeah, come on in.
Exactly.
Everybody,
But a guy, it's way more easy.
all the guys,
bring
come
it
on
in
in.
here.
Yeah, that's
Come
true.
on
That
in.
makes sense. I would imagine like they're a lot more picky, but that makes sense for sure.
I feel like girls
Like
are
on
better
average,
at it,
you know?
though. Girls are way better at it than
At cheating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like AB said, yeah, I'm sure there are girls that cheat a ton.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Let me
That
tell
skew
you.
the
Let me
scale
tell
a
you
little
why I
bit.
think it's not a scale. Because like, I was reading this book called *Sapiens*, and it talks about like human life, like early human life, and like what we were like for the first like 100,000 years of our existence up until now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was saying that for the bulk of our existence, we existed in tribes, right, of up to like 250 to maybe 500 people, and that was it, no more than that, right? And there was just a bunch of different tribes, and in these tribes, everybody was polyamorous, so they'd be fucking each other's like women, but it wasn't like a territorial thing. It was just like the saying, you know, it takes a village to raise a kid. It's because like they didn't know who the dads were in the village. Everybody would just raise all the kids collectively together. Everything was a collective, and people would just fuck each other's wives and all that kind of shit. You know
And
what
more
I mean?
kids means more workers.
Yeah,
Bigger-
exactly.
You don't have to
bigger
say it like that.
tribe.
Like you could just say everybody just fucked each other.
Everybody fucked each
Yeah,
other's
let's say it like
wives.
that way.
Hey, Phil, coming over to fuck your
Hey,
wife.
Phil, let me come fuck your wife tonight.
Let me come fuck your wife. You gonna come fuck my wife? Yeah, I'll go fuck your wife.
Of course, they probably just talked in grunts and shit, but you know what I mean.
yeah. Yeah. The wife's like,
They probably all smelled like shit back then.
Oh, of course.
how atrocious.
And they're probably
Those
all
back shots.
Imagine what their mouths.
dude. You know that.
Back
You know
shots.
damn well.
Yuck, the
you-
whiffing you get.
You know damn well they didn't discover doggy.
Oh nah.
They were probably just doing all missionary.
We were like,
That's
I
terrible.
don't
though. All doggy. I mean, all missionary.
I wonder
The
what
thought
they were
of two
doing back
cavemen
then.
fucking missionary is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
It was probably missionary for the longest time
Yeah.
I don't know.
until a revolutionary caveman decided
Who do you
to.
think was the guy that discovered back
I don't
shots?
know, but he was a god, whoever he was.
Turn around. Turn
I think he has a statue somewhere.
He has a-
Discovered.
he has
There's a statue.
There's a statue of him for discovering that.
Or
it's the
head
guy
or
that made
something?
wheels and the guy that discovered back shots. Those are like the most influential cavemen ever.
It puts Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, the guy who discovered back shots.
Hey, speaking of, apparently Isaac Newton was a virgin.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's so smart.
But there's also rumors that he fucked his cousin.
Oh, I mean, I believe it. Oh,
I would believe that more than the virgin thing.
Which is the one that died from lead poisoning? Was that before him? Way before him?
No, there was a scientist. I don't remember his name though. It wasn't Isaac Newton.
It wasn't Isaac. Okay, but yeah.
I
Someone
mean,
died
incest is really common. Like it was,
Yeah.
especially still in America. Like I think was it West Virginia?
Dude,
It's
yeah,
like
there's a
super
whole-
duper common. Even Utah.
There was
what is
a
common?
there was a
Yeah.
YouTube documentary on this family who's like a completely like, incestuous family, and they show what they look like.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude! You could not imagine. Omar,
I mean, the royal
you
family.
could not
Have you seen them?
imagine what they look like.
Like Hills Have Eyes. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
like Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
disgusting.
That's probably what that movie was based on.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's based off of a family
like-
who's been fucking each other
But
and turning
also,
into monsters.
they got trapped in like Nevada during the testing for like the atomic bombs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. So I like mutants,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they do
yeah.
fuck
That's
each
also
other.
that's also why they're mutated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think the fucking royal family looks so weird?
Because they all fucked each other for years. Because think about it. Well, we talked about this before. The UK is an island. That means
Yeah.
for centuries they were just fucking each other, up until now, which they kind of don't. But low-key, they probably still do.
They
fuck
probably do.
I'm
a
sure,
lot of
yeah,
the
a
same
little bit.
people.
And like some cultures, it's like acceptable to
To
like
fuck your cousin.
yeah.
It is.
To give the business to
Yeah.
your cousin.
And then like you go to especially like black people, they're like, nah, that ain't cool.
Yeah,
They're
right.
doing that shit.
No, unfortunately, the
Yeah.
Middle East is
the
still
Arabs,
sort of
be,
into
the Arabs
that.
be doing this
The
shit.
Arabs be doing
That's
that to this
crazy.
day, which is crazy.
To this day.
To
they
this
be
fucking day.
I'm sure they have a reasonable explanation.
I don't
I
think
hope
I don't
so.
think there is one. To be
They be
honest
like,
with
damn,
you.
my sister kind of hot.
She kind of see,
Damn.
like none
not
of it's
judging.
right. Yeah, none of it's right.
Yeah,
That's just crazy talk.
That's just wild.
that's their culture.
Let them do them.
No, I see what you mean. Like you gotta respect like an
Do I really have
individual's
to respect
culture.
it?
No, because
I'm not gonna embrace
fucking
it.
up the gene pool, dog. He's fucking it all up. We need to all fucking commingle. We need
Aren't
to
they
all.
like usually like second cousins or something?
I've actually heard having a kid with your cousin isn't as bad as they used to think it was.
No, but it's still. so
It's
Omar's
gotten better nowadays.
But regardless, it's still fucking crazy. But with your brother or sister, that's even crazier.
No, that's insane.
That's
Oh my
insane. But no,
God.
regardless, it doesn't matter. It's fucking have sex out of your gene pool, man.
Can we?
Yeah.
You don't need to have sex with your goddamn. There's so many other people in the world.
Speaking of incest, I usually don't watch porn, but when I do, there's like a lot of shit about like
Oh yeah.
stepbrothers,
Bro,
yeah.
the stepbrother phenomenon is crazy. Stepbrother, stepsister.
What is that about?
I don't
Why
know
is that?
why
That's
people
weird.
because it's like the fantasy. I think it's because it's the fantasy on the edge. You know what I mean? It's like on the edge of being incest, but it's not incest because they're your step. You know what I
true,
mean? Like,
yeah.
and you know them because they're your step, and they're there, so they're easily accessible.
Yeah.
So it's the most realistic in terms of like the
You actually have
the
access
mental
to that
play.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actual access to the step pussy. So I mean, you know what I mean. So it's that's why I think at least I think the videos are strange though. I don't get anything.
So that's how you feel, huh?
Yeah.
It'd be pretty awesome.
I don't
to
fuck
have
with them.
a hot
I don't fuck with
stepsister,
You know,
wouldn't it?
you know what makes it worse is that like they all have like the first part of the video is like all story. Nobody's even fucking, but they just keep like, yeah, step bro. You were supposed to watch me, take
Yeah.
me do
Or-
my homework or some shit.
Or they're like teasing each
So
other.
you actually like listen to the foreplay? And
no,
everything?
oh you
You gotta, Joe. You gotta.
I would
gotta.
You gotta watch the trailer.
I actually don't. I actually don't. I'm
I
just
skip
like,
right past
You
that
like,
shit.
you
I
skip,
go like
skip
straight to the
right,
clapping.
right to when she's sucking his dick. Are you
Yeah.
you skip past this?
No, I just
no,
go
no.
straight to the action.
straight
I'm
to
about
when
to tell
he's
you,
coming on her face.
They always,
No.
The fact that they even write dialogue for him is hilarious.
I tell you, I skip right to the part where they're holding their dick and she's always making that face. She's like, she doesn't know what to do. Like,
I
you know
guess
what to
I'll
do.
do this. And they proceed to have sex for 45 minutes. It's like
That's the most unrealistic part of this video.
So you know how they say porn fucks people up?
Yeah.
Low-key, I kind of think it does because imagine if that's your only image of sex.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine,
Somebody fucking their stepsister?
yeah. Imagine that's it, right? Like that's all you've watched. Let's say you discover porn when you're 10 years old, and up until you're 18, that's all you've watched is stepsister, stepbrother porn.
Oh my God.
Like other porn. I feel like that would fuck you up.
yeah.
Maybe, but that's with anything, right? If I drank alcohol every
That's true.
single day, that wouldn't
All
that
in
fuck
moderation.
Yeah.
All
me
in
up? Everything
moderation.
in moderation, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you suppress your urges, that's just as bad as like doing it every single day.
Yeah.
That's true because
And
then
it-
you can crack and it goes on to something else, even if it's not porn.
Exactly.
You gotta have a balance.
Yeah.
You can't beat off every day.
I definitely, yeah. That's got it. Yeah, that's unhealthy. That has to be unhealthy
Yeah.
for a grown man to be beaten off every day.
Would you guys ever do the No Nut November challenge?
Hell
I
no,
tried.
dude.
I tried. I
That ain't
failed
right.
every time.
How far'd you get?
12 days.
That's the furthest?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty far, though.
I've done that outside of November though,
I cannot do that shit.
and I will say that like going at least a month without whatever, I've had like wet dreams. Like,
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had a wet
Really?
dream.
Really?
Wow, no.
That means you beat off a lot.
That means I
beating
beat off
off,
too
boy.
much.
Yeah.
We be nutting.
Yeah.
I be nut.
Because I feel like
nutting.
I think it's like really unhealthy to suppress it. So your body tries to let it off. I think it needs to release the seminal fluid or whatever like that. Because I guess too much built up could cause what is it? Prostate problems.
Or blue balls.
I think. Look it up.
Oh.
And
I
the
don't-
way
I don't
that
know
your
that.
body releases it is through like.
So I
wet
was wondering,
dreams.
like,
yeah.
when people don't have sex and they don't jerk off. So I guess they just have wet dreams.
Yeah.
The body's got to get it out somehow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, I guess I never went that long without either I was jerking off or I was having sex with
So
someone.
do you
One or
think
the other.
monks? Do you think monks are just having wet dreams all the time?
I think maybe they get to a
And their
point to
little monk
where.
robes.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, like
It's a bummer.
how they can completely deprive themselves and still live a decent life. Like you ever seen that that Rage Against the Machine album cover, and they have the monk who was protesting the Vietnam War.
He's
And
on
he's
fire.
burning.
Yeah, it really
Crazy.
happened. He sat
I
down
can-
in the middle of a busy city. He poured gasoline on himself. He set himself on fire. He didn't make a sound.
He's on
I
the
can
Tiananmen
I can tell you
Square.
why that happens.
That's insane.
Because and this is getting woo woo, but a lot of the sexual energy is really powerful, right? And
Yeah.
that energy goes outwards. But whenever you're on the spiritual path and you're wanting that energy, whenever you're trying to become enlightened, you're taking that energy down there and you're bringing it upwards. So you're transforming that energy into something different. So that's why these guys are able to like suppress themselves or whatever, and be okay and be sane. But I feel like people that don't know how to control that energy, that's when it goes rampant and it goes crazy. When we talk about like priests or when we talk about these incels or whatever, But if you know how to like control that energy, move it up and cultivate it, that's whenever you become more evolved or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is, but that's what they do. That's what they practice.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to their personal philosophy, right?
Yeah.
Like Buddhism, for instance, like they believe in like nirvana, like, you know, being able to like life is suffering.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have to accept that.
Yeah.
It's interesting, man.
Not even that. It's just like, hey, yo, I got a nut. Let me go work out. Or let me go cook or something. You just put it in something else.
Yeah. It's a creative, that energy is a creative energy.
So let me ask you guys a question. Have you,
that energy, right?
Yeah, it is. It's a creative energy.
so
It is, it's true,
did your parents ever have the birds and the bees talk with you guys?
No.
Never.
And they should have.
Same. No,
Yeah.
agreed.
I knew about it way too early.
Yeah, I just
think
knew
we all
about it.
did.
I feel like by the time that most kids have that talk, I was already like knee deep in porn.
Yeah.
So I think like they
You're
kinda,
already
like,
watching
knew.
anal porn. You're
I'm
like, I don't
waiting
need to
through
know
this
about this
shit.
other shit.
I've never watched anal porn.
I turned
You've
it
never
off.
watched anal porn? That can't be.
I've seen one
They
video.
must
I
stuck
mean,
it in
it's
there at
never
some
been
point.
something where I was like, oh, let me watch this.
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't.
Yeah, no. There's been like times where like, I didn't know it was anal porn, and then I click on it, and it turns out to be anal.
You know,
what
I'll
I
tell you
mean?
what. There's nothing pretty about anal porn.
No, it's not. It's
No, I
disgusting.
actually leave, yeah, because what they'll do for whatever reason, let's get a little TMI. Y'all know, y'all jerk off. Is like the fucking pull it out and like have it a gaping ass.
It's
And I'm like,
disgusting,
there's
man.
absolutely nothing pleasant about this, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
I know
Sometimes,
what you mean.
sometimes you don't even know when they're having sex with them in the ass until they do that, and then I'm like, oh, well, it was in her ass the whole time. I'm out of here, dude.
Dude, I was listening to this.
I don't need to see this shit.
I was listening to this podcast with Asa Akira, right, the porn star, and she was like, she did a lot of anal scenes when she
The
was
fabulous
doing porn.
porn star.
She's awesome.
God
Fabulous
bless her.
asa.
And she was saying that like before like anal porn, it would take her like 2 days to prepare. So she would eat like a bunch of like fibrous shit to like shit everything out,
Oh,
and
God.
she'd get like an enema done, and like they'd clean out her ass legit. Like she'd have her shit like prepped. Like she'd have to like, and she'd starve herself like 18 hours before the shoot. Like there'd be nothing in her system. That way, whenever like they did the anal, like the guy wouldn't pull it out and be like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my
like,
God.
shit on his dick. Or
She
something like
probably felt so weak during those.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Not eating for 18 hours and then getting
that.
Yeah,
Man,
fuck
for
that
the
dedication
love of the
right there.
game,
For the love of the
for
game.
the love of the game, dog.
Oh, that sounds awful, dude.
What would you do if you were having intercourse with someone and they just like pooped on your pee-pee?
like
What if it
anal
was?
or
If
like,
it was regular sex?
Yeah, just regular sex.
they just had to shit
What
that
kind of
bad?
what kind of poop are we talking? Like a little bit or
What
like
kind of poop
diarrhea?
are we talking?
Come on, I need to know.
This is like a
Why
little,
did they do it?
Just like a little squirty dumpling. You know what I mean?
That's a good question too. Why'd they do it? Did it just come out when it like because of the
I
motion?
don't
or-
know. Maybe, yeah.
Like, are they
I need
sick?
an explanation.
Or
What
did
if-
they
what if-
choose to do this?
If you're asking a lot of
It
questions,
was it an
bro.
accident or was it on purpose?
No,
What
if it
if
was on
Something
accident.
could be done with
That's an
intention.
But you
accident?
didn't know.
I'm not
It
gonna
was,
trip.
but in the moment, you didn't know what her thought process was. It just happened.
Man,
Well,
it's a simple task.
I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then
Tell
I
her to get out.
I wouldn't be mad. I would just question like, and if it was an accident, I mean, shit happens. Literally, shit
Shit
happens.
happens. Ah. Yeah, I'd have to come out of the shower and be like, all right, we got to sit down and have a talk. Like, did you do that on purpose?
I gotta sit down and talk.
Are you mad at something I did? Be honest with me. Just shit on me on purpose.
Subconsciously shit on me,
Right?
Shit on me on purpose.
She shit on me.
Well, I just had told you not to be late the other day, and you were. That's all it was.
Oh my god.
No, but I guess it was an accident. They were like very sick. I couldn't really get too upset. But
Shit.
They-
y'all are nice guys.
if they
Yeah,
thought
y'all are
like,
nice as hell.
oh, I thought it was
What
gonna
are
be
you
a
guys gonna
fart.
do? Punch her in the face? I mean, come on.
You bitch!
You don't shit on my dick, bitch. You know what I mean? What
I
do you-
shit on you. You hold her down and shit on her.
Speaking of,
extra
I have a good transition story, but then let me hear. Let me hear.
Oh my God, my
what,
shit
what,
is
what you guys would do?
what I would do.
Yeah.
Nothing. What can I do? I wouldn't want her to feel embarrassed about it, of course. So
I do.
Then you do the same shit as us.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a
do.
nice guy.
Oh, it's
I'm
all
going
right.
home. I'm leaving. I'm going home.
Bitch, I never want to speak to you again.
Talk to you.
Bitch, you're disgusting. Get out of here.
What's wrong with
Just
you? Why you
walk
shitting?
away.
So I have a somewhat related story.
Okay.
Joe's a nice guy.
So the other day, at my girlfriend's place, she has a cute little pit bull. This is good. This is different.
I know, but the way you set it up was crazy.
Okay, she has a cute little pit bull. He's a little gray pit bull. His name is Gray. He gets on the bed with us sometimes, and he'll like just chill there while we're watching TV. And he was chilling next to me. I was petting him. His butt was kind of facing me, and his head was kind of laying like off the bed. And I was just scratching his belly. He farts like near my face, like 2 times. And I'm kind of mad because it smells horrible, right? But he's a dog. I can't tell him shit. So I'm gassy that entire night. I don't do anything. And like literally right before I leave, like he's laying on the ground at the end. Like before I leave, he's laying on like this mat. I get down
Whoa.
My girlfriend was dying laughing, and the dog was like,
Hold him there for 3 seconds.
he had a little and he looked at me like, what the fuck? Did
That's
you
really
do?
fucked up because dogs have really sensitive noses.
Yeah, I know.
He smelled everything you ate.
It was
for
loud
lunch,
too.
dinner.
He smelled a mile up your fucking asshole.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
He knows your inner anatomy now.
He knew it was. He probably smelled it before it was coming.
Yeah, he knew it was coming. Yeah. He knew it was coming.
I don't know. That's a pretty fucking dick move. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What do you mean? He farted in my face.
But,
in the
you, but
dog's
you're
face.
like you're a fucking human being. Like you
So?
know that shit. He's a dog. He's acting on instinct.
I don't care.
Nah, they smell.
I don't
asses.
care.
They
It's
smell
not-
assholes.
Is that animal cruelty, Joe?
Yeah, it is animal cruelty.
Now, you know what animal cruelty? To put him in an enclosed space,
Like
and
a fart-
force him to
a fart
stay
chamber?
There.
Yeah, torture.
Hot box him. If you gassed him, that's different.
Gassing him like they gassed the Jews.
Oh my god.
If you
Go
got
with
him in the
fart.
shower, that's different. But if you got him like in the face real quick, let him go. give him a little taste.
I had to let him know that shit wasn't gonna fly.
Yeah, don't try that again, bro. This is gonna be
Hot
worse.
box him in the fart.
I'm
That's
letting you off easy, bro. I'm letting you off
Letting you up easy with one to the face.
that is hilarious.
Next time, open your mouth and do it. Doctor's gonna be. It's the worst.
Man. That's hilarious.
To get farted in your face. How awful. What an awful,
Have y'all
awful
ever, like,
situation.
Have y'all ever like shitted on yourselves before?
Yeah,
of
I
course.
have.
Oh, yeah.
One time I ate like a movie theater hot dog, and I went to the movies with my friends, and then I spent the night at my friend's house, and I woke up the next day, and I farted,
Oh no.
and I fucking shit myself. I sharted. Yeah, man.
Happens
Did you
to the
ever
best
change
of
your
us.
clothes?
No,
How'd you get out of this situation?
I just went home. I had a call. I had
So
a
you like limped out of the door?
Yeah, I
Like,
limped-
All right, my
limped
mom's
home.
here.
they were like, "Oh my god, what's that smell?"
I limped home.
They didn't suspect a thing, did they?
I think I told them.
Oh,
I was like,
Oh,
"Hey guys,
okay.
I just fucking sharted myself."
Honestly,
Nothing is worse than having
Yeah.
shit in your underwear, even if it's just
Yeah.
a little.
Oh,
Even if
dude.
it's just the smallest
you
bit.
say it like this has happened multiple times.
Oh, it's happened too many times. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'll be honest. It happened to me maybe
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Like a smooth 3-4
Wow.
weeks ago. No, but it was legit. Sadly, it was legit like maybe 4 years ago. And then prior to that, it wasn't when I was like in first
can we
grade.
hear about the most recent?
That was that time. It was like 4 years ago. So
Oh, okay.
I was getting in my car. I was gonna go on a nice little smoking cruise like I do at night. I had just used the restroom, right, which is the most fucked up part about it. I had just taken a shit. Go to my car. It's a Sequoia, so I put my foot in a little handle thing. I'm climbing up in that bitch. I'm on the phone in one hand, and then I get up. I feel a fart as I'm climbing into the shit, and I fart, and I sit down. I sit down, and I'm like, no. I think that can't be what just happened. And I stand up, and I'm like, bro, I think I just shit myself a little bit. And I go inside, and it's maybe like a $50 size of shit in my underwear. And I'm like, this is the most horrendous thing that's ever happened to me. I'm devastated. And I got in the shower, and I showered for like 30 minutes, and I didn't go anywhere.
So when you drove home, were you like kind of like sitting on one?
No,
ass?
I never left. Never even turned on the car.
Oh, you're in
The
your
minute I
driveway.
sat down, I felt it. I did that as I was stepping into the car. I just showered. I had just shit. And I
That's
and then
hilarious.
that happened. I was like, I am just,
Lucky
Oh
you.
my
When
god.
was
I'm
the last-
just- I'm
when was-
devastated.
When was the last time you guys peed yourself?
Oh,
that one's probably been a while.
that was
Because I'll hold my pee in
Yeah.
pretty good. I actually have to
Yeah.
piss really bad right now.
Maybe like
Believe it or not.
maybe like in a football game.
In the football game?
Yeah.
You were in high school?
Yeah, maybe
God
middle
damn.
school or maybe high school.
Like when you
'Cause
got
can't
hit,
you can't
or-
really go to the bathroom when you're playing a game.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
You
that's
gotta
kinda
just take that
tough.
shit in.
Did they
Like, hey,
force
coach,
you to pee out there
Huh?
on yourself, or you just too
I
scared
just
to ask?
fucking I've done it just because.
Hey,
Like I didn't want to fucking go to the bathroom. I was just like just gonna pee
I
right
remember
here.
one time, I think it was 7th grade or 8th grade. I was wearing, like you have to wear these bullshit fucking uniforms in middle school, like khakis and like a fucking
Yeah.
like a hunter green shirt. And I was dropped off. The bus stop used to drop me off pretty far from my house. Like it would drop me off outside in another neighborhood, and I'd have to go like walk to my neighborhood. And I had already had to pee when I left school, but I was like, I'll be fine. Dude, I'm on the bus. My legs are fucking shaking. I had to pee so bad.
No.
And then they drop me off, and I'm running as fast as I can to the house. And I'm running. I make it to the front door, and I'm trying to use my key, and like my hands are shaking and my legs are shaking, and I can't get the key in, and I'm fucking struggling, and as I get the key in, like I just feel the feed just and it just runs all down my leg. And I'm like, no.
Oh, wait, when was
you got
this?
so
Like
close.
7th or 8th grade.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm peeing in the front yard, bro. I'm peeing like right.
I don't know
up
why I
against the
didn't
fence.
do that.
Yeah.
I should have just fucking peed in the front. I mean, I peed in the front yard as an adult.
You know what it is? It's when you know that you're on the edge of glory, when you're like going into that restroom.
Yeah, dude,
that's when it hits the hardest.
My hand was right there. I was at, my fucking shit was on the key, man. I was about to go in.
I'm not gonna
No, I
lie.
can't tell you how many times I've been like right at the toilet and been like, fuck, I have to pee. Like it just like 3 times worse now, out of nowhere.
I think
'Cause
when
I
I
see
was
the toilet.
maybe like 5 or 6, I might have been like, something must have been wrong with me mentally, because I feel like I lived in my own world and I just wasn't here on earth. Because I used to literally piss in front of the school whenever I was a kid.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I just like whip out my little thing and just like piss.
Start peeing.
Well,
How
like
old?
as I
How
was
old?
like waiting, it was pre-K. I think it was like pre-K.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Dude, peeing was so much fun at that age. It's still fun at this age, but it was so much fun at that age.
But
That's a
I
dominant
would
move right
remember
there.
like I'd be waiting for like my mom or my uncle to come pick me up, and like I'd have to pee, and I just like whip it out and just like start pissing on a tree while everyone's like waiting for their parents to come and get them. And I just remember this kid being like, "Ha ha, he's peeing," and I'm just like, "What? Like, what's the problem?" Like, I'm just,
I bet all the other kids were like, that seems pretty cool. Why can't we do that?
Yeah, maybe I wasn't aware. I'm telling you, I was living.
Should
in
be able to pee in any
Dude,
corner.
I remember, this is going to be strange. I remember, like, there used to be this Sears dressing room, right? My parents would take me to Sears and I'd be trying on clothes, usually school clothes. And for some reason, like, they would let me go in the dressing room alone. I used to pee in the dressing room
You know what's crazy?
like it was a restroom.
When I used to go
right
to
on
West
the
Oaks,
carpet.
when I used to go to West Oaks in those dressing rooms, they would smell like piss. It was kids like Amy pissing in there and
Because
shit.
I was peeing in them. I don't know why I did
You
that.
could have
I-
been the only one. I'm sure tons of
old were
kids
you
did
when
that.
you
I was
that.
young. I must have been like single digits for sure. Like, how did I not know that? Like, I think I knew that it wasn't a restroom, but I was still doing it because I had to pee.
You probably figured it was way easier to clean than it actually is.
But I did it like
You probably
I
didn't even care about that. He was
almost
like,
made it
"So."
a
You
don't
habit.
think
Like
about
if
it.
I was going, like if I was going to that dressing room, I knew I was going to pee in that dressing room, and I would pee.
Save
On,
my pee to go into the dressing room like the pool.
I feel like when you're at that age, like you're not even conscious. You're like an animal kind of.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing. You're just.
You have no
doing it.
manners. You're just
Yeah.
you're just a kid who's just like, I don't understand why this would be wrong. I would assume this would be fine, right? Doesn't it go right into the carpet?
Yeah.
Or something, you know what I mean? Like, or you pissing? Like, I mean, animals do it. You're just like, I'm just pissing, right? I just got to get it out, don't I?
Carpet.
Exactly.
You don't really think about it as a kid. A lot of things go over your head, and you're just like, well, this should be the way it is, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that.
Or I just have to pee. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna pee right now.
I just gotta pee that bad.
And that's it.
I wish I still had that in a way, where I just like had that,
That
like,
freedom.
innocence,
Oh,
where I just
yeah.
don't give a fuck about like what
man.
is going on outside of myself.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
the uninhibited view on life.
Yeah.
Mm.
But what at one point do y'all have like a memory where y'all were like, there was like a memory, like maybe your like earliest memory of being a kid where you were like, oh shit, like I'm alive, like oh I'm here, like I'm in this body. Have y'all had that like experience before?
I didn't have that as a kid.
No, I didn't start having that till I was like a teenager.
Yeah.
Really?
No, yeah. When I was a kid, I never really had self-actualization like that. I was just like,
What?
it kind of felt like I
Wow.
was high all the time as a kid.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like everything was just like, honestly, I had a pretty good childhood. Like I never felt like nothing bad ever happened to me. Fortunately, like I never got
Yeah.
like abused or anything. Like things always went pretty well. My parents made sure like we had enough food and like we had a good time and you know like we were taken care of. So I feel like I generally like always felt good. I just I never like was able to recognize myself. I just always felt like riding on a high.
That's a
Interesting.
good way to describe it. I kind of feel
Yeah.
the same way. Just kind of like living every day, like you know, you living just in the present. That's
Yeah.
like so in the
Interesting.
present, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Because I always have this memory. I don't know how old I was, but I always have this memory, like my earliest memory when I was a kid. And I was like standing in the threshold of like the hallway or something. And I'm looking down the hallway and I'm like, oh, wait, I'm like a person. Like I'm a human. I'm like looking at my hands and shit. And I'm like, oh, wait, like I'm a, like, and that's when I started having like memories and stuff like that.
You know what? I actually have had an experience like that.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, now that you worded it like that, one time when I was maybe like 5 or 6, I was cleaning out my room and I was looking through a lot. You know, I was only 5 or 6, so my super young years were only like 3 years away. So I had like all this old shit, like really kiddie shit, like little kid slippers and you know, little toys and stuff like that.
Little bitch shit.
Little bitch shit, you
No,
know,
just
little
kidding.
pussy shit. I want that.
Just kidding.
Donate it, mom. So I gave a bunch of shit to my mom to donate, and it was tough for me to let go because I was like a kid, you know. So I was like, shit, I want to hang on to this.
Yeah.
But I gave a lot of it away, and I remember there were like these little clown slippers that I remember having. that were so sick. They had little googly eyes on them. So cool. So I remember I accidentally donated one of them, and I had the other one, and I found it, and I was like, fuck, and I couldn't find the other one, and I was freaking out, and I was looking everywhere, and I was like, it's like a memory of my life that I wanted to hang on to, and like I let it go, and this and that. I was like 6 or 7, and I remember sitting on the stairs like crying about it, and being like, damn, like I let this go, and like I can never get this back ever again, and like I'm a person, I'm growing up, and like I have to let go of things.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that for sure.
That's pretty.
I can still see those clown sandals in my head right now.
It's really deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good note to end on. A nice deep, remorseful note.
Oh my god.
Think about your first memory, people.
All right, thanks guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for coming in, Joe.
Thanks for coming in, Joe.
Man. That was like 2 hours.
Yeah. You're kidding. Yeah. We usually leave like an hour. I knew it was a long time. Yeah, midway through I was like, I gotta finish. It should be in an hour anyway.